devil in a red dress. Call 911, I'm a killer. You know I hate to confess. Bang, bang, got my hand on the trigger. The devil in a red dress. Call 911, I'm a killer. You know I hate to confess. Bang, bang, got my hand. Call
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you so much for taking the time to join us this evening. We actually have a really exciting show. That's weird. Did y'all see that back? I don't know. That's so strange. It's just like things change when Google tells us that like things are going to happen throughout the next, and then our government tells us that things are going to happen throughout the next. But be sure, if you do choose to report on those things that they said were going to happen, make sure that you're reporting the ground facts that Google has approved. Because if you don't, even if someone in your chat says something that disagrees with Google's version of, then you shall be removed. And you can actually be yeeted from the channel and the platform, which is crazy, right? Anyway, we're going to talk about they, them, they. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into it, guys. First off, thank you so much for taking the time to jump in, man. This is it's going to be a good episode. We're just touching a little on the Georgia situation. And look, we've already had a couple live streams, including on Red Dawn with Red Dawn and Red Dawn Readiness, if you don't know, and also a Wired Type. And it was a really good show. We had Missouri Survival jump in there, and it was a good show. We had a great conversation. However, we're going to have another conversation about that. We're going to talk about them. I mean, in a way, right? We're going to talk about them, but we're also going to talk about what would be the best way to put this? We're going to talk about a couple things. We're actually going to talk about wargaming, and we're going to go through some exercises together. Let's call them some academic exercises together. And we're going to discuss just some kind of concepts with wargaming. We're also going to talk about booby traps, not boobies, booby traps. And man, I don't know. I may have to take the latter end of that conversation over to Rumble. We'll see. We'll see. But let's go through and say what's up. So, first off, if this is your first time joining the show on DLD After Dark, first off, welcome. Secondly, I don't believe you because 99.8% of all this traffic on the channel is completely by dudes, mostly dudes, but some chicks that subscribe to the channel. Whatever that leaves, that point two, the riffraff that slides in and out of here. Excuse me. Whoo! Don't choke on your spit. Um, the other little bit of folks that slide through here, yeah, there may be some that slide through here and there. Maybe some people share the link and they're like, "Yo, check out my homeboy," But let's be real, YouTube doesn't show this content to anyone because we talk about guns and God and all the stuff that they don't like. So, anyway, I digress. If you are here for the first time, we're going to take the next 10 minutes or so to welcome everybody. Bring the yes, sir. What's up, man? Dang, that's what's up, man. It's crazy. There's only 25 people in here, 24 people in here, but good to see a bunch of you guys, man. I'll go through and say what's up to all you guys. But usually we take the first 10 minutes or so to greet everybody and to say what's up and welcome them because this channel is nearly 100% supported by the channel members, and we got to give the channel members some love. All right. So let's go through and say what's up. We're going to greet all the channel members, and then we're going to go back through and also greet all the what we like to call the honorable mentions. And then also, if you're watching this the next day, or the next day, or the next day, one, I want to ask you a question. If you're not watching this live, do you usually skip through the song in the beginning? Like if you're watching the replay, do you usually skip through the song? Or do you just like let it rock and listen to the whole thing? I'm curious because I'll be real with y'all. I'm actually considering changing the intro like completely. And I need some feedback from y'all. The people that are actually like the hardcore folks that chill, here for 2-3 hours Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. So yeah, I want some feedback from y'all. But aside from that, if you're watching this the next day and the next day and so on and so on, then do me a favor. First off, thank you, appreciate you, love you. But also do me a favor and drop a comment and make sure you drop one of the most popular comments. Usually replay mafia. It's pretty popular. Replay mafia, recapitulation syndication, and then people make all sorts of jokes about leftovers and it's great. You're gonna love it. However, we're going to be doing a comment of the day. Now, I know we don't do streams every single day, right? It feels like it. It feels like we do. But I'm going to be doing a comment of the day. So there will be a comment selected, and then we'll hit that each show and talk about it, laugh about it. Or if it's actually a really good like conversation point, we could drum up a whole conversation around a comment from the previous shows. And it could be anything. It could be, a comment from one of the shorts that I dropped or something. By the way, I did drop a short actually. Oh man, I forgot to put the Baruda back up. Matter of fact, hold. Well, would you look at that? Just popped on up there. Oh, I didn't put the mag in it. Oh well, it's all good. Anyway, let's go through and say what's up. Let's greet the first person that came in, and then let's go through and say what's up to all the Chinnamin Buzz. So, first off, Dangle Matt was first tonight. My brother, great to see you. Dangle Matt, high five. Crisp, high five, my guy. And let's go through and say what's up to all the Chinnamin Buzz. We got Johnny Propane in the building. Johnny, what's up, brother? Great to see you. Chinnamin Buzz. We got Blue Curtain Burner in the building. Also a Chinnamin Buzz. Appreciate you, my guy. We got Mr. Z in the building as well. Another Chinamemba. Appreciate you, brother. Thanks so much for coming in and hanging out. Scusi. We got Senor Bob in the building as well. What's up, brother? Great to see you. Senor Bob in the building. Let's see. Z, Senor Bob, Eric Stockbridge. What's up, brother? Great to see you. Also a channel member. Appreciate y'all coming in and hanging out. And let's see who else. We got Johnny. We said what's up to Johnny Propane, right? Did we? Did I miss? No, I did. Johnny Propane. I'll say what's up to you twice. What's up, brother? Great to see you. Also a channel member. We got Not My Name out here. What's up, brother? Not My Name. Also a channel member. Appreciate you guys so much, man. Could not do it without y'all. For real, for real. Also, we're going to touch on the IV 88 machine gun shoot. I'll be going out there in October, so we'll touch on that. If there's anything specific that you guys are looking for, if there's anything specific that y'all want to see, any new firearms that are dropping that you want to see, I'm sure they're going to be there. And let me know, and I'll make sure we get to bust some on camera. Z, what's up, brother? Member for 32 months. What? Bro, thank you so much. Dark rocking the Amish look, bro. Check this out. This, you can't really see, bro. This is the longest my beard has ever ever been. Yeah, it's I'm growing it out and I'm going to continue growing it out, and then as I grow it out, I'm going to kind of like shape it up and clean it up a little bit, but yeah, you know what I'm saying? I just letting it go like roast, you know? But thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man. Slide Bite, what's up, brother? Great to see you. Also a channel member. Appreciate you, my guy. Change the intro. Put Muslim prayer music, then play the huge loudspeakers in the middle. You know what, man? I need to bring you on as a consultant for the channel. Just the ideas that you come up with are incredible. Love it. Hello. All right, sorry, my bad. All right, Eric Stockbridge. Let's see, Mr. Z, Mr. Z, Mr. Z. Where's everybody at? Hey, Rudy Finney, what's up, brother? Also a channel member. Appreciate you, my guy. I started putting stuff aside for you, man, and I haven't even sent you a care package yet, man. But yeah, slacking, man. There's a bunch of stuff I'm running behind on, so don't feel bad. Mike McClune, the Goon, brother, great to see you. Also a channel member and a moderator. Grilled turkey chopped up on a salad. I thought that was a pukey face for a second. I was like, what? Why is that bad? With tater tots. Dang, you made tater tots? It's been a minute since I like intentionally ingested tater tots. I'm not gonna lie. And ranch dressing with dinner. Okay, now hold up. Is the ranch dressing for the grilled turkey chopped salad, or are you dipping the tater tots in the ranch? Let me know. I'm curious now. I'm curious. Let's see. Z, Rudy Finney. Let's see. I'm just going through. Haven't been around since the Dugan streams. It's crazy to watch channel members get shouted out. Why is it crazy to watch channel members get shouted out, man? That's, you got to show love, man, for the folks that are showing love and supporting and have been here constantly for years, bro. So always got to show some love, man. Eric Stockbridge, Drew, what to do, brother? Great to see you, man. Also a channel member. Appreciate you, my guy. Let's see. We also got Fat Gray Man in the building. What's up, brother? Great to see you. Too many choices as well. What's up, fam? Again, talking about 40 Smith & Wesson. It's crazy. Crazy. I don't know what you're talking about there. Damien, my brother in Christ. What's up, fam? Great to see you. Observing Observatory. What's up, man? Great to see you. Appreciate you. Tech Money. What's popping? BV Luminous. Great to see y'all, gentlemen. Silverback. What's up, brother? Great to see you. Let's see. Tara. Oh, hold on. Is that old school Tara? Tara, like from back in the day? Tara, I think you were in our Discord too, right? Dang, that's crazy, man. It's crazy to think it's been like years, bro. Years. Bob Masava, what's up, brother? Great to see you. Appreciate you coming in and hanging out as well. Let's see. Damien Christ, Take Money. Warsaw, what's up, brother? How's it going? Would you agree? DLD After Dark. Would I agree with? Oh, hold on. I find it weird and weird timing that when the news was covering Kathy Hochul being arrested by the feds for being a Chinese spy, the incident happened in Georgia a day later. Yeah, oh man. Look, I think everything is controlled. I think the strings are always being pulled by the people that are in charge, and whether it was already planning on happening and just very convenient timing, or if it was, bro, I don't know. It's hard to say, but I'll tell you what, everything is corrupted. everything is compromised. And yeah, it's yeah, so you're probably right. Detective John Kimbo, great to see you, my guy. Everyone else, if I miss anyone, just DJ Play Nice, great to see you, bro. Anyone else, just fire off in chat, and I'll make sure I welcome you guys. Jin Champ, all you guys, if I missed you, appreciate y'all. P38 Wilbur, great to see you, my guy. All right, let's go ahead and jump into it. So, first off, I want to go ahead and show some love to Red Dawn Readiness, because Red Dawn Readiness has been super, super just like open to like bring in other folks on his show. We actually had a conversation about bringing people on of opposing beliefs and having an open conversation, open dialogue. I don't know that not that like, I don't know that we ever will. I guess I was going to say that, but I don't know how willing other people are to come on. Like we're open about other people and other people having beliefs because we care about freedom, liberty, and independence. Other mofos just they just don't see things the same, right? They don't just think the idea is bad. They think the person that the idea dwells within is bad. And that's where things become dangerous. And that's how we drop stuff off of our desk. And that's how we end up with people getting totally radicalized and doing crazy stuff like we saw recently, and we're going to continue to see. And anyway, so I want to show some love to. We'll talk about all that stuff. I want to show some love to Red Dawn Readiness, man. He's been a great channel, whether you're engaging in the live stream or in the live chat or just watching or on the panel yourself. It's a great channel, Red Dawn Readiness. He's got another one too, Red Dawn Republic, but just make sure you go and check him out. And while I do that, we're going to go ahead and bring on the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Red Dawn Readiness.
Dual wielding.
Dual wielding. I guess we got to be careful with that on YouTube, right? It's funny. I don't know if you saw, but I figured I'd switch up my background for today. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, let's
full flowing hydrogen peroxide dyed hair.
Bro, I know, right? Like that was definitely done in a gas station bathroom sink. But yeah, man. So before we jump into it, take a moment and just introduce yourself. Let everyone know who you are, what you do, and where they can find you. All that good stuff.
Heck yeah, man. I'm Red Dawn, aka Red Dawn Readiness. That's the name of my channel. I do lives Wednesday nights and Friday nights at 9:45 Eastern. And I try to drop as much content as I have time for in between all that. I have about 10,000 ideas laying around up there in the attic, and I'm just trying to get them out, trying to voice my opinion, trying to, change the culture and put as much 2A content, constitutional, American loving content out as possible, because it's an info war and it's a culture war. So that's what I'm up to. And my boy Dark, I can't thank him enough for his relationship with me and all the time we've spent just talking about stuff, teaching me things, helping me out in so many different ways. So appreciate everybody in the chat who supports the channel, and really appreciate Dark for having me on.
Thanks, man. I wasn't expecting all that. I appreciate that. And honestly, bro, I feel the same way. Like just seeing like us connect with a bunch of people that like, have similar beliefs. Because look, not all of us agree 100% on everything, right? But that's the beauty of this. And this kind of gets to some of the conversations we're going to have tonight. I do want to hit the Georgia situation, which will kind of bleed into a similar conversation that we had on the last show with you and Wired Tight. Excuse me. But also, I think wargaming is super important. So I do want to jump into that too. And I got this thing I've been wanting to talk about for a minute. I even spoke with Crump and Rich about doing it on the Uncensored podcast on that other channel that rhymes with Crumble, because we're talking about fatal booby traps. You know what I'm saying? So I guess we should probably be careful about that. But whether we go to Rumble later or just are very aware,
it's to prevent bears from breaking into your house.
Exactly. Right.
Bears are running rampant.
Armed bears. You know, Crumpy, thank you for the super chat, brother. He says, check text to get pissed preview of new league.
Ooh.
Pissed. Hold on. I can't do that to my people if they can't see it. Do not release in all capital letters.
Oh man.
No. Bro, I can't even look at that right now. I can't look at that right now. I'm gonna get hot. Crump, thank you. And thank you. I can't believe you sent me a super chat to tell me to look at my phone. That's crazy. But thank you. I appreciate you, Crumpy. Appreciate you, my guy. All right. So, what are your thoughts on what's happened recently, but just kind of what appears to be in store for us throughout the rest of this year?
Dude, I think there's some massive stuff on the horizon. I don't know if you guys saw, but today there was the news talking about that the group that Tim Pool and Benny Johnson and all these so-called conservatives are a part of have been taking money from Russia, is what they're saying. And you know, the Russia, and
Of course.
that they're spreading Russian propaganda. And
More? Is there more Russian propaganda?
yeah, you know, it's like only Russia does it to us apparently, and no one else in the world has propaganda that affects us
Oh no, of
at
course
all.
not. Certainly not China.
Oh, certainly not. They're, you know,
Do you remember seeing those January J6 flyers that like clearly it was trying to encourage people to attend, and
mhm.
it straight up looked like a CCP flyer. Like it looked like either somebody went on Fiverr and paid some Chinese dude $5 to make J6 flyers, or it was like actual feds, pushing CCP, propaganda, or
Same,
whoever
almost the
they
same
pay.
thing.
Basically the same thing. Yeah. That's crazy, man. It's crazy. But dude, the craziest thing is like, okay, if I don't know, do you watch like cop shows, like law
Oh yeah,
enforcement shows, like First 48 and
love
like
them.
all yeah,
It's
they're
been a
cool.
long time, but I mean, they've been around forever. So yeah, I've spent plenty of time
Yeah.
watching all of them.
And like the general idea
Oh
of
yeah.
the shows, right? Like, so when you see, like, let's say there's a cops doing like a homicide investigation or something like that, and someone says something that was unreleased, like an unreleased detail that you know they never released to the public, and the only way someone would know something about that is if they have some type of intimate knowledge. Usually that tells the people investigating like, yo, red flag, like
Mhm.
this person had something to do with something, or knows somebody directly that had something to do with something with the homicide or whatever, right? I
Yep.
find that so funny because constantly Alphabet, Google, who we know with certainty is working hand in hand, walking lockstep with the federal government. They're funded by the federal government. There's no way to hide that. And actually, remind me, we need to go back on what you mentioned with the Russia stuff. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked.
Mhm.
But so they've constantly come to us and literally told us, T for Tejas, what's up, brother? Great to see you. Um, they've I forgot. I think it was January. Whenever it was that they changed the TOS, they were like, "Hey, content creators, if over the next year there is a large amount of mass tragic events, things like mass shootings, politically charged events that end in, mass casualties and all this stuff over the next year, then essentially you're not allowed to report on it until Google on a Google platform, until Google has the ground facts and whatever ground facts are, and until we come up with a general consensus of what happened, right? And then once we determine
Or
what
if you're a
happened,
large channel, if you're a really big channel, you can put out a lot of stuff that's just out there and put it out,
sometimes,
and they don't sometimes.
I
But
mean,
I've noticed channels that put stuff out, and it's like, I'm like, is that true? Like, there's a short that
yeah,
I reposted of Benny Johnson, and it was like the whole Facebook guy leaked the Trump indictment or results of the ruling in his court case early, and that's short. I mean, it has like 18,000 likes at this point, but it's not true. and
Yeah.
I green screened it from him. But I
Yeah.
mean,
Dark, you're selling turkey testosterone and preps. JC9, you know it. What's up, Crumpy?
I bet you I can get you a deal with turkey testosterone
Yeah, right. And food buckets.
and food
I'll
buckets.
take
Yeah,
the food
yeah.
buckets now.
No,
Yeah,
the
so I
testosterone
actually would
company
take the
reached out to me.
Food buckets are
Dude,
valuable.
They
anytime
tried to sponsor me, so I sent it to Dark, and I was like, dude, I told him I was like, I cannot do this because I
of
would
how
get
much
eaten
we've
up.
made fun of, dude, the funny thing is like anytime, like I see new channels all the time that are talking about preparedness and all this stuff, and then you see like these crazy titles that are like something happened today, and we are on the cusp of nuclear war, and this just started World War III and all this stuff.
Red alert.
Red alert.
Yeah.
And then it's like, ladies and gentlemen, today is the day we are on the cusp of, and they basically say what the title is. Like, you all need to know right now is the time to buy my food buckets by using code SIMP. It's like, bro, come on.
Yeah.
Like, you're come on.
Or buy.
I'm just coming on for a second. I just want to clear up some stuff.
Yeah.
What so they're not being charged for what they were doing, like doing the Russia stuff. What they're being charged with is if you work for a foreign government, and RT is ran by a foreign government, it's funded by the Kremlin. You have to register as a foreign agent. So it's called uh, the Foreign Agent Registration Act or whatever, or Foreign Registered Agent Act, like Foreign Registered Agent Act. So you have to actually register and say that. Tenet is in trouble. I don't think Tim Pool or any of those other guys are going to be in trouble because they didn't do it. I read through the whole indictment and everything. So basically, these two Russian people from RT approached Lauren Chen and the other partner in Tenet Media and said, "Hey, we want to pay you $10 million to start Tenet Media," and they're like, "No, we can't do that." And then, like the next day, when they turned it down, they got another email from a guy with a made up name that had nothing on Google about, saying, "Hey, I'm going to give you the exact same money that these other people want to do." And they're like, "Are you Russian?" He's like, "No, I'm not Russian." And they're like, "Okay, we'll take the money." So that's why they set up Tenet Media.
You seem like a trustworthy guy.
Well, here's the thing. Well,
Pinky promised you're not Russian?
Yeah, there was one time when they had to email over a payment that was being missed. And Lauren Chen emailed over to the guy, the fake guy, saying, "Hey, we didn't get the payment. We need this right away. Can you get back to us ASAP?" And then she inquired about what time it was in Moscow.
Interesting.
So
what did the checks have Kremlin crossed out and it said like Gremlin LLC next to it in pen or something like that?
What's crazy hearing you describe it, John, is like super PACs do this kind of stuff all the time.
Yeah, but it would not be illegal if they registered as a foreign agent.
But are you a foreign agent just because you took money from someone? Like, there's no evidence.
If you take money from a foreign government, yes.
Okay, so they have to prove though that it's from a government. It could just be a guy in Russia, right? Who's like, "I like your news."
Well, no, I mean, if you read the indictment, they tied it back to RT. I mean, it's dead to rights, man.
But is RT similar to is it a government news thing? RT? It's
Yeah,
not like
RT.
CNN, right? Who's
No, RT is
independent
funded by
and
the government.
balanced.
The original founder of RT started out as an anti-Putin network,
Mm-hmm.
and then Putin went in there and said, "I'm going to give you $1 million to sell me RT and leave the country." And the guy's like, "Well, RT's worth several $1 billion, and I don't like you, so I'm not going to sell it to you." So
Hey,
Putin
y'all
says,
keep talking about this for a second. I'm gonna go piss real quick.
"Yeah."
Cool.
So Putin said to him, "Well, it's either that or I'm going to put you in prison for the rest of your life and take it anyway."
Straight Kremlin style.
Yeah. So basically, they didn't have a choice. So he had
Yeah.
to sell, and he's living in exile in Spain right now. But the reason why Putin did that is because RT used to be really anti-Putin before the government took over RT.
Yeah, I mean, what's interesting about it is I don't, and I follow some of these guys. I don't see them being pro Putin or pro Russia.
No, man. Well,
Um,
I don't think that is the case. I mean, I don't think that Tim Pool and all those guys had it, and the only one that has some questionable stuff is Tim Pool, because there's some emails that they showed that they're saying, "Hey, can you have one of your hosts talk about how Ukraine killed all the people in the theater when it was actually ISIS that did that? Can you push one of your guys to say that they think it's Ukraine instead of ISIS?"
Well, my
And
question with sometimes of the ISIS stuff is like, they
well,
always seem to be like, we take ownership of it. ISIS claimed that they did it. And I'm like, why would anyone? I mean, I
well,
guess that's their MO, but also if you dig into ISIS, you know where that leads.
Tenet sent out a email to their four hosts saying, "Would anyone take it up?" Host three said, I will take it up. I'll do it. I'll push it." And I'm pretty sure that's him, because if you look at some of the other emails when they say, "Oh, can someone talk about this?" It was always like host three. It wasn't the other host that said, "Yeah, I'll do it." And if you look at, you can match up the dates with the episodes, and you can see that it was Temple.
Mm.
But do I think that he was doing it knowing that it was Russian propaganda from Russia? I don't think so. I think he was like, "All right, well, that goes along with my view, so I'm going to do it because I already think that."
Yeah. It's funny when you said, I'll do it. It sounded like Tim Pool. I just hear him saying it. I'll do it.
It does kind of sound like that.
And if you look
Yeah.
at the ones that are, pushing back the hardest, it's Tim Pool.
Yeah. He made a big statement about it. Like, you guys can go read it. I didn't memorize it, but just basically saying that if it was the case, then he was unaware of it.
I do think he was unaware of it. I don't think he was aware of it at all.
Yeah, I don't either. But unfortunately, man, all this stuff is just it's always the Russia. Like we were saying, China's never involved. I really think something isn't not going to be good. And one of the biggest things, me and Dark saw this thing today about Texas water being polluted, and like,
Hmm.
dude, get your water storage right. Go to the
Yeah.
store, buy 10 cases of water. Next week, buy another 10. Next week, buy another 10, and just have as much. And if you have a swimming pool, golden.
Hmm.
But if you don't have a swimming pool, stack it to the rafters and have water filtration so you can put a trash can out and start collecting some rainwater, because there was not too long ago, but there's a hack into a water treatment plant where they changed the acceptable levels of certain toxins and stuff. I believe it was in Florida, and it might have been in another state, but these things, whether they're foreign, whether they're domestic, whether they're intelligence, whatever they are, man, they want as much chaos as possible. They worship death, destruction, pain, suffering, and we got to do everything on our side to prevent that. So that's my message when it comes to it.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's important to have especially with water, a few different elements of preparedness. Like if you cannot set up a self-sustaining renewable source of water always all the time, then the next best thing is to have several different methods of water, which would be water storage. So like Red Dawn said, just literally stacking up water bottles. Understanding though, there are a lot of limitations to just standard water bottles. But of course, it's better to have them than to not have
All right.
water.
Well, I got to take off. But I just wanted to
All right, brother.
update you that because I just wanted to
Yeah, I appreciate you, man. Thanks for
clear up
popping on.
everything.
Appreciate you, Crumpy.
Thanks, brother.
Brother, thank you. Red Dawn, I got to get back on your podcast sometime, man.
Bro, you're welcome anytime.
Yeah, whenever
Hell
just
yeah.
invite me sometime.
I will. We'll do that maybe next week if you got time.
All right, maybe. All right, that works.
Word.
All
All right, brother.
I'll email you, John.
right, cool.
Later. But not only like the, let's call it short-term water storage, but also long-term water storage, like bleach treated water, things like that, and then also water filtration, but even a still, right? All that stuff. It is incredibly valuable to have several different methods of water procurement, but also just the simple skills of, do you know how to set up a solar still? Do you know how to set up, just find ways to if you only have one. So let's say this for an example. If you only have ammunition but can't crank out your own new rounds of reload your own ammo, then you're limited, right? Like right now I'm limited because I can't currently reload my own ammo. So that's one of the things I wanted to get to. If you can't procure water, you can
I
only
could
store
maybe work a
water.
deal out with you.
I'll take deals.
I have a brand new press. What is it? The
Single
red brand.
stage?
No, it's the
For real?
I have the OG one, yeah.
For real? Yeah, we got to talk. And anyone else who's about to say in the comments, like, "Ooh, I want it." Nope, he said it to me first. Sorry. Now let me go back real quick because I'm sure people that were like, "Yo, Dark was just talking about the first 48, whatever," and then all of a sudden we were
yes,
talking about
Lee DB Cooper. I have the
Lee press. That's right. They're great, man.
Yeah, they're fire.
Yeah. So okay. So going back to it, like I said, like when you watch like these shows where there's like homicide investigations, like the first 48 and whatnot, if somebody says, or there's a report of somebody saying something that like a detail that was never released that only they would know, it raises some red flags. Like, bro, what? How would you know? You must have been involved or know someone that was directly involved, right? Same kind of thing. It's the dead giveaway thing, right? And then of course, even in like movies and shows, it's like that detail was never released to the public, So anyway, so my whole thing was this: we have to think back, okay, to when our government, the DOJ, published a white paper that basically said, red alert over the next year and a half or 2 years or whatever it was, we need to keep a high a high alert, whatever, of the potential of mass tragic events, mass shootings, terrorist attacks, terroristic threats, things like trains, planes, and it's going over all this stuff, right? Literally within like 2 weeks, Google in January, Google, Alphabet, YouTube, whatever, all the same, which is really all the same with the United States government as well. They all are walking hand in hand, and lockstep with everything. Google, Alphabet is funded by the United States government. So really it's one and the same, right? They come out with this change in their terms of service that says if there are over the next year or year, I think it was a year, over the next 12 months during the election season, if there are any mass tragic events, mass shootings, political events or events that could stir political things up, whatever, I forgot the exact wording. We brought it on here, we pulled the documents up, we literally read them, and they said until Google or Alphabet has the ground facts, whatever that means, content creators aren't allowed to talk about it, A, or B, they're not allowed to talk about um, any idea on what occurred that differs from what Google or Alphabet determines to be the thing that happened or how it happened.
Yeah, thanks,
And
Alex
they
Jones.
said, yeah, right. And then they said they're going to enforce it to a level that not only would the content creators be held accountable, but viewers would be held accountable. And if people were like watching and saying stuff and even chatting in live chat or leaving comments that I guess vary from what the government Alphabet, and I guess the government too, right? Says or were not the ground facts. They could literally kill your account, block you from the channel, whatever. They could do all
Shut
this
your
stuff,
bank account down, bro.
right?
The ACP is running wild.
The 45 ACP,
No, the American Communist Party.
the NAACP.
Yep.
No, okay, sorry, bad joke, but everyone is getting together and all these content creators are talking, people are putting out videos and like the world's going crazy and everyone is talking about how it is just absolutely absurd that YouTube, Alphabet thinks that it can hold viewers accountable for just saying stuff, right? Like that's crazy. These viewers are just talking, sharing their opinions or whatever. And while everyone is talking about all this stuff and how it's about the content creator and it's about the viewer, I'm like, yo, did everyone miss this? The government just said, hey, y'all, there's going to be a bunch of mass tragic events over the next year and a half or years and some
Did you
change.
see what Gavin Newsom said?
No, but hold on real quick. And then Alphabet came out and said the same thing. Yo, there's going to be a lot of these events happening. So you guys in advance, chill, bro. That was the detail that wasn't released to the public. Like
Bro,
they're literally saying, hey guys,
that's
the
why
next year is
you
going to
got
be
to see what
wild.
Gavin Newsom just said about this event. He
So
said
what
it's
did
not
he
going to
say?
stop till we get your guns. They're not going to stop. He
No
said, just be
way.
lucky that you aren't a part of it because they're not going to stop until we take the guns.
You know what? He's right.
I know.
He's right.
Of course, he was being 100% honest on that one.
I think because of all this, you know what I think we should do? Because there's so many murders occurring, I think we should make murder illegal.
Dude, totally. And then we should also make it so like 14-year-olds can't have an AR-15 and take it to school.
Yeah.
Like I can't believe they let the kid take his AR-15 to school and walk around
Yeah.
with it.
We should also make drugs illegal, bro. Like that would stop so much
Bro,
like
we should
bad
start
stuff.
with fentanyl. Why are we legalizing fentanyl all the time so that
I
people
know.
can just apparently I saw today that 300 people a day are dying from fentanyl. There were 4 killed
Yeah.
in Georgia. It's the biggest news ever. 300 people a day
Did you know
are dying from fentanyl.
over 100,000 died last year from fentanyl, which honestly I believe was way underreported. And you know how many people were dying per day? 100 were on average reported, which honestly doesn't make sense because that would have been whatever. The math doesn't math, but if we're talking 300 a day, we're
300
talking
a day.
2,100 people a week.
That's why they
gone.
have to keep bringing the illegals in because they're losing so many probably to the
That's true.
fentanyl.
Yeah, yeah. Oh man,
I
all
know,
the
man.
things to
The
say.
one example he gave was imagine an airplane went up every day and it crashed every day and all 300 people on board died every day. He said
I
if the
heard that.
first day, yeah, people would be like, oh, okay, damn, that sucks. The second day, people would be like, oh, okay, that's really bad. What's going on? The third day it happened in a row, nobody would fly and get in a plane. And that's just like, man, it's I don't know what happened, bro. The only thing I can think of is that evil is fully in charge right now.
For sure.
And
100%.
dude, we need to do everything we can as individuals, as people who care about each other, as your loved ones, people have to get their heads out of their behind right now. You can go back to fully indulging yourself when we fix this, but being under attack the way that everything is being under attack and weaponized against us is it's
So
the alert, the YouTube high alert and warning emergency broadcast. Even though they dramatize it, I mean, dude, you could do it every day because every
they're
day
right. They're right. They're just wrong for doing
the
it.
approach.
Yeah. They're like they're doing it to sell their food buckets. But okay, so all right. So what I hear you saying is that it would be important for people like us to think like us, because I don't believe we're going to get this from people of opposing beliefs. And I hate to be like this. I'm not trying to be divisive. I'm just trying to be honest on
sure.
like this is the world that we live in right now, right? It's like the money thing came up and it was like, bro, I hate money, right? Like but that's like saying, "Oh, I hate air." Right? Like unfortunately, we have to acknowledge the world that we live in, and right now the world needs money to operate
For sure.
for the most part, right?
I mean,
Like
if I didn't have to breathe and I had 100% oxygen in my blood, that'd be awesome. But that's not
bro, gangster.
gangster.
Psalm Courier, what's up, bro? Good to see you, man. But so what I hear you saying is it would be important for people like us to be kind, to live a life of care, compassion, contribution, give to others, right? Bless others, right? That kind of thing. And also, of course, because we know the only way for us to defeat violence is um, the
With good
only way
men,
for us to defeat this is
skilled in
good men,
violence.
highly skilled in violence. Yeah, sorry. I'm forgetting my own quotes here,
That's
right?
all right. I know them
It's
too.
it's because I'm not saying it at the end, right? Right. And then of course, we need to be good men, warriors of God that, take a stand for what's right and for what's righteous and those things. Like you're
Yeah,
talking about like
man.
generally speaking, those things.
Yeah. I mean, and
Yeah.
the other thing is we have to take certain steps in our life at this point. Like I've probably talked about it. Probably a lot of people have heard it that I'm really working hard at strategic relocation.
Yeah.
And it's hard. It's tough trying to do it all. Especially with the economy the way it is, the way the real estate market is the way it is. I mean, I'm actually extremely fortunate that I own a house that I bought at the
Yes.
right time, and I bought like I was approved for over 300,000, and I was like, I'm not screwing myself. I bought a house for 179, and
That's what's up.
is it great? No. I mean, it's got issues, but I've done almost everything to this place myself. All these shelves you see behind me, that's all I did all that stuff. I painted everything. I've done countless things to this by my hands. And I did whatever I could. And now I'm trying to capitalize on the fact that the market is high.
Mhm.
Um, but it's like I don't have a lot of people to bounce ideas off of or who have that type of experience who know, like there's areas I'm considering moving to I never even been to.
Yeah.
And all of that to take my children and my family and uproot stuff where I'm born and raised is it's a challenge, but it's also like, dude, I don't like I'm trying to do what is necessary to do, whether I enjoy it, whether I'm comfortable with it, like, but I know that it's the right thing in my heart, so I'm gonna make it happen.
Yeah.
And it's around the corner. It's really around the corner. And that's all I can say for people is like, dude, what you feel in your heart may not always be comfortable. It may not always be easy, but we really got to start taking those steps. And that's everything in life that's good for you. Most of the
Yeah.
stuff that's good for you is not easy. It's challenging, it's hard,
Yeah.
but we got
Dude,
to
and
do that as much as possible.
honestly, like your next stage of growth and development comes through discomfort. You know what I
Sure.
mean? Like, and that rings true in almost every stage of life.
Mhm.
It's like everything challenging and everything that's worth it will cause discomfort, will be difficult, and that's why it's a challenge. That's why it's called a challenge.
Yep.
Anyway, dude,
But to
if
make it to
we,
places that we've never been, we got to do things we've never done. And that's
hmm
just how it is, man.
facts, yep. But yeah, man, that's I wish we could just get a bunch of land, like
It's out
I
there.
don't know, like
There's still plentiful land to buy and stuff like that. It's just more about putting the plan in action. Like,
for real, I would like to get land like in Virginia and just start
yeah,
up like a straight up like community,
yeah,
a very kind community of people who think like we
neighborhood.
do. Yeah, exactly. Right. I mean, that something like that would be. I mean, technically, if we get 36 square miles, we could actually have it be an official township, which that would be dope.
I
Um,
wonder if we can declare it as like a what's the
Autonomous zone, Chaz.
I was thinking more like what the Native Americans do. What is it called?
Oh yeah, it's different.
Yeah. But you actually can do that.
Yeah,
It's like sovereign land that you can declare yourself still in the United States, but there is a
bro.
process to it.
It depends on what our religion is. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
My
Amish do it though.
religion is
Amish do it.
yeah.
Native Americans do it. Like it is something that can be done.
Joe Morris, what's up, brother? Good to
A
see you, man.
reservation.
Reservation. That's right. Yeah, reservation. Yeah. Be Moorish. DLD, our own Chaz. Tell you what, we could grow corn better. Those folks couldn't sprout garlic, bro. I know it was such a joke to see their community garden of like
They
Harris
didn't
Teeter
pick the best
trash.
land to do that at, though. I must
No,
say.
no. They didn't, bro. That whole thing was an absolute disaster. If you want to see what the future holds, and I just saw a shadow go across my house. I mean, I get freaked out when I can't like hear stuff, you know what I'm saying? Because my headphones are
Yeah,
on.
I do the same thing.
Yo, I got a gun, I'll shoot you. Um, it was probably me too, like flailing.
Did you see the video of the guy? He has the Google Home and he goes, "Hey Google, intruder alert." And the house goes all red lights and starts
Oh
playing.
yeah, like
Let
the bodies hit the floor. Yeah, I've seen that. That's hilarious, bro.
And he's like, "You came into the wrong house. Prepare to die."
Dude, the irony in that though is that Google has tapped into every aspect of your home. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
exactly.
It's so funny. Like I talk to dudes and they're like, man, they're talking about limited government and prepping and all that stuff. And they're like, Google, lower the thermostat 4 degrees. It's like, bro, come on, really? Like, I don't know. I just
I
couldn't
still
put
don't
it
even
down.
have a remote on my TV, bro. Like we got to
I
get
do
up
have a
and do it the
remote.
old school. I tell my kids, get up, get it, then the
Chunk,
remote.
chunk, chunk,
No,
chunk.
we're
You
not
remember
that.
you remember the old school like like that shit was crispy when you
Yeah.
turned it. Okay, let's get in. So, what's the most recent report that you've heard about Georgia?
Well, I heard that they did arrest the father. They're charging him.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
he's in custody. He's being charged with 4 counts of homicide, murder, all kinds of stuff. He's being
Wow.
charged.
Homicide and
And
murder?
yeah, he's got a pretty decent rap sheet now. Which this is the way I view that, to tell you the truth. I know some people are against the parents being charged, but at 14, dude, you're responsible for your kid until they're 18. And this is the other ploy I have for that is let's say there is some adopted MK Ultra program. Now we could throw the handler away too, unless there's an outside handler, which there could be.
Yeah,
But
I mean, I definitely think it's a way for. So, here's a question: is MK Ultra real?
I'm pretty sure it's been disclosed through the Freedom of Information Act that it's
Right?
100% real.
We know
However,
it's
they do
real.
say that they stopped doing that. They
Oh
don't do
yeah.
that anymore.
Why would they do? They wouldn't do that. It's our
No.
government, right? And so here's the interesting thing.
They actually
If
learned their lesson during MK Ultra. They realized how bad it was. They totally stopped.
yeah. Didn't you see Pineapple Express? They stopped. Um, so okay, so if we know for certain that MK Ultra is indeed a real thing, then wouldn't this allow handlers to just constantly set up the parents and take the fall so that they don't?
I mean, this is the way I look at it, bro. If my kid did that, I might end my own. Like,
Mm,
I failed as a parent. I failed the community. I failed my child. I failed me as a you're 100 like, why would you even want to go on? Throw me if my kid did that, bro, throw me
yeah.
in jail. I'd happily go. I'd be like, "Man, just I'm sorry." You know, like this is clearly my fault that I created this child and raised them to the point where they thought this was an option.
Hold on.
And
So I didn't see this. Sorry, real quick.
yep.
Some 223 brother. Thank you, by the way, a member for 3 months. Yeah. Hope all is well with all you. God bless you too, brother. Thank you. So MPugo says two psychiatrists, 2 out of 2 dentists approve. No, two psychiatrists were alleged to have said that the young Troon was homicidal.
Throw them in jail too.
Yeah, I mean, what did the parents do with that information, right? Because the parents are ultimately responsible for the things that they them thing does or doesn't do, right?
I mean, have we seen one of these events where it's like very Christian conservative family, their child lost it, and like at every one of these events, bro, the
And
situation is
took
highly
a puff
suspect.
from one cigarette. The child just broke and snapped and tried tobacco.
What was that old marijuana scare movie? In
I
the
don't
day.
know.
Oh man, I guarantee you somebody knows, but it was like a massive propaganda movie they made about marijuana where it was like, if you smoke marijuana, you will want to. Yeah, there it is. Reefer Madness. Bob knows what time it is.
Oh yeah. Reefer Madness. Yep. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
You'll want to jump out of a window and have orgies.
Really? That doesn't sound all bad. Safety Harbor knew. That's funny. What's up, Safety Harbor? Good to see you, bro.
Heck yeah, Reefer Madness, bro. That was they started the propaganda hard, man. Hard.
That's crazy. So that's another thing I was thinking. Dang, chat's moving quick. That's the other thing I was thinking.
For
Was
sure.
the kid on SSRIs, which is a huge. I mean, dude, that is almost like not the only, but one exclusive trait that we've seen constantly in these mass tragic events is that they're on or off, or were on or whatever, some form of SSRIs.
Yeah. And I mean, I do kind of look at it like if you allowed your kid to get to that level and you had no warning, you had no idea what was going on.
Bro,
What do those parents have to offer to society at this
we
point
yeah,
anymore?
we know our kids, we know our kids, and you know in your heart what the problem is that most, and we've talked about this before. Most of these parents aren't actually raising their kids. YouTube is raising their kids. The
Yeah,
neighborhood of scoundrels is raising their kids. Like
for sure.
it's it's disgusting.
Back
Like
in our day, it was MTV.
yeah, and it wasn't even that bad. Like we were out playing, we were drinking from garden hoses, we were,
Yeah,
scraping our knees and, beating each other up and stuff. Like it.
facts.
I'm not saying that it
Water gun
was
wars, Nerf wars, street hockey. Like
BB
I don't
gun
see kids doing
wars.
none of that. I really
No,
don't. I don't see
man.
them doing nothing.
It just this is what we're talking about when we're literally seeing our culture become destroyed and we're allowing kids to engage in adult activities and have adult mindsets at a very young age. That shit is dangerous because you're doing adult you may potentially run into a situation where you're making an adult like decision as a child with an undeveloped brain. And
Yeah.
here we are in this exact situation where this and look, I don't know, right? I can't
Well, you know
I'm
what? You know, it just popped in my head. Not only obviously you're destroying the innocence of children and all that stuff, but what Christ said was, unless you are like one of these little children, you will
mhm.
not be able to see the kingdom of God. So if you can have them miss that part of innocence and pureness, where like even now,
Yeah.
now the world is in such a situation where as an adult, I don't have time to indulge in stuff that I enjoyed as a child. But in a normal situation, you'd have nostalgia and these things of like when you were a kid and the innocence you had, and it would bring a good feeling to you, and it would remind you of a time where you were innocent, where you didn't have so many struggles and you weren't pressured by so many things. And if you get them to do all these adult things young, they may not have those type of memories. They may live this dark, adult, stressed, pressured life. And dude, obviously Mark Ultra is a thing, dude, because it's in everything. It's used in
Yeah.
sales tactics. It's used in commercials. It's used.
Mhm.
That's why our entire world. I've talked to and watched documentaries about people in other countries, and I'm not going to sit here and praise them because there's not y'all know me. There's not another country in the world I like over mine,
Yeah.
or
Fuck those
even
countries.
maybe like it all. But our sales and like the quarterly, we need more every year. The sales, it has to be more. It has to be more and
Mhm.
more and more, and the production has to be more, and we need more. Right? That is kind of just unhealthy for society. And we see in our country, like people will work themselves to death. They
Yeah.
will, not be able to have certain things. And I'm not trying to sound like this everyone needs healthcare type thing, which I mean, essentially, I think dogs should have free healthcare. Like,
Bro,
bro,
I mean,
if
look,
you need to
if
put your dog down and you don't have $500, it's a shot. Someone give your dog a shot, and
I
that's all
mean,
I'm
bro,
saying.
so tell me
But
this.
it's
Okay,
very
so
nuanced.
an illegal immigrant comes into the country. Okay, let's say they get shot. What happens?
Put them on an airplane and send them back to their country for healthcare.
Yeah, but not what should happen. What does happen? They get
Oh,
treated,
bro,
they get taken
for
care of,
free.
they get yeah. I mean, there is free healthcare, just not
Yeah,
for us.
no, not for
You know
us.
what I'm saying? Man, so what did this dirtbag let me back up a little bit. So I guess this piece of shit's pronouns were they them. So earlier on a conversation with like um some folks, some fellow content creators, I was saying that they clearly were not loved. They didn't have Christ in their life. They didn't have a purpose. They were programmed. They were abused. They were manipulated. They because
For sure.
we don't know what happened, right?
Well,
But
at 14, if you end up doing that, all those things are true.
oh, for sure, there's no way like that. That's think of how hopeless and how just so little you have to care about anyone and anything. They they had no hope. They had no value of human life. They have I mean, dude, that's
I
I'm
honestly
wondering.
think, though, I think that there's like we talk about confession, right? And not in the sense that like you need to go find some guy in a dress and confess to him, and that's the way that it's going to always get better. But
Yeah,
confession is a real thing. Like when you talk about the things you've done and be remorseful of them verbally out. I think these people need to have like the camera put in front of them and be like, so why did you do this? Because dude, there's been so many of these situations. I think the kid in Parkland got it pretty bad in the courtroom by the parents of the people in Parkland. Um, but I think there needs to be some type of like accountability. Even Jeffrey Dahmer, we got videos of him talking about what's going like just to understand the psychology of this.
bro,
But
hold up. I'm sorry. Apparently, Grand Prairie water has been deemed not contaminated and restored.
Perrier,
I think it's Grand Prairie. Remember the Texas thing that was going on with all
oh
the tap
yes,
water that
yes.
was
I'm thinking the
how
glass bottles, Perrier.
Dom Perignon? What? No, like how could they fix that quickly? It almost
It could have been
that
a hack, bro. Like I was talking about with Florida, they could hack into these systems. I put something in the group chat today about a system that I work around that was compromised.
mm,
And
my bad. I didn't mean to cut you off. I just when I saw that I was like, "What?" Bro, that was like 2 hours ago. Like, Yeah, you're right though. You're right.
You adjust those levels real quick in the computer. It goes from toxic to safe enough.
Yeah.
Just
It's
a
like
little fluoride, a little
just
atrazine,
just a
little bit,
little, just a little,
just a 0.4%.
just a little. What's that ish called? The bipolar meds. Lithium.
Yeah, yeah, is in there too. Lithium's in there.
Yeah. Oh, and it's yeah. Obviously, aluminum is in there.
Oh yeah,
Like that's
I'm sure
how we
barium,
dispose.
all of them.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, the side effects are you may want to kill yourself, sudden death, bleeding from your anus, blood
Yeah.
coming out of your eyes. Please
You
consult a
may
doctor
want
if you are
to.
interested in this product.
Yeah. You may want to shoot up a school and I'm like, whoa, what? Hold on, I gotta find this other picture of this they them. Here it is. Colt Gray. Hang
Mhm.
on. Come on, motherfucker.
I don't know if there's a picture of the father. I'd be interested in seeing that.
Yeah, I did not know that the father was actually charged.
Oh yeah.
All right, let me see if I can do this here. I don't know if this one is going to be as clear in the background. Let me see. Boop. Okay, all right. Let me stop playing around. Let me actually just like put this up here. Hang on one sec. Presenting. Boop, boop, boop. Okay. Colt Gray at is never wrong. Kamala 2024. End all maggots.
Are we
She
sure this is the correct Keith Gray or Colt Gray or
from what I understand, this was by an extremely highly trustworthy source. This was shared. I think it would be okay. So a person that typically doesn't share inaccurate information had shared this with me. Do you see what it says next to maggots?
yes?
It's the gun emoji pointing
Oh,
at
it
the
is. I
maggots.
didn't think that emoji existed anymore though.
I didn't think it did. I've only seen the green squirt gun, but it is Tweeter. So I don't know
But
if
I mean
there's
it's still the emoji list. Unless
unless
you
you do
can
it on the
copy and
computer. Yeah, you can
copy.
copy and paste old. I guess you can also download any font that you want. So I got that from Marine Gun Builder, and he's pretty much on point. Could this be fake? Of course, right? Anything that's out there could, but this is what was shared with me. So if any of you guys find out that it's fake, then complain to Marine
This
Gun Builder.
current information is uncollaborated, and this warning,
Collaborated. Collaborated. This is
Did I
uncolostomy.
say collaborated? No,
You did.
corroborated. What's the word?
Corroborated.
Is it
Co-op.
corroborated?
Why does that? Now that I'm saying it, it sounds so wrong, right? Corroborate. Coab.
It's wobberated.
I feel so wobberated watching this.
Unsubstantiated. Let's go with that one.
We'll go with that one. Yeah. Corroborate. Why does that sound so wrong when I say it out loud? Everyone at home right now is saying corroborate.
Yeah,
Corroborate.
there's no W in there. It's
No,
corroborated.
It's corroborate. Whatever. Unsubstantiated.
Listen, guys, I'm good at math. I never was great at English.
I'm not good at anything. I'm nothing and no one from nowhere. I just
the whole chat
exist.
roasting me. It's funny. You guys are still the best though.
Corroborated. Thank you guys.
I'm pretty sure I said corroborated at first.
You might have. I thought you said collaborated, and I was like, Red Dawn, you're so silly. And then I'm like, co-wobble rated or something. My bad, y'all, my bad. But this is what happens when, what do they say in the country? That you're slightly touched, slightly touched. So this
Bro.
says Colt Gray at is never wrong. Kamala 2024 into all maggots with a pistola. Yeah, that's a little sketchy. This also it's side by side, so like that's not really how Twitter is set up. I think the page would look different, but let's just say
Well, I
if
think
this is
that's the
correct.
page, and then when you click on the picture, that's a screenshot of two things, yeah, side by
So
side.
it's side by side. Okay, yeah. Also, look, I don't know what you guys believe in, everyone out there, and I certainly don't want to like disrespect anyone, but anyone that is following more people that than people that follow them. Usually they're just bad people. I just usually use that as kind of like I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. Bad joke. All right. This is a terrible person. They deserve to be shot in the head of the town square. And from there, we'll just kind of, take it up a notch and
I
bring
was
the
gonna try to
gallows
look up
back.
if the account's still active.
Dude, I did not even look it up. The moment that I saw that it was a
Move your
homo
cursor real
page.
quick. What does it say? Joined August 2021.
Let me check.
Oh no, no.
Sorry, I
This
clicked
is
on
a
the wrong
scene
one.
of Colt Gray and his father after realizing.
Joined August 2021.
Okay.
Oh, that's so bad. That's so bad. Yeah, that's all I got.
It's almost the same shirt that he has on in that picture.
Oh, wow. I did not even realize that, bro. Damn.
The hair.
Yeah. Dang, Carl. Look, not to make light of the situation because there were casualties and it's terrible. And I think anybody that the community that we've built, I think anybody that's here believes that we have a responsibility to, preserve life, um, life that matters. And I think that had things been different, somebody could have been there to deposit semi-precious metals in that dirtbag's head and potentially stop bad things from happening.
For sure. But just like we protect the innocent and weak wherever we are, you got to
Mhm.
protect your children from these things, man. Like you really
For
do.
sure.
And you got to see signs. Like clearly that Twitter's a sign, right? Like
Here,
with
here's
the
the
gun
difference.
in it and everything. It's
Yeah.
like,
And the fact that you call them maggots, first off, anyone that runs around saying anyone that thinks differently than them is a MAGA American, like I hate like
I mean, the
I'll
biggest one is I'm 14 years old and I'm never wrong. Is what
yeah, which most 14-year-olds kind of think like that. I mean, they
yeah.
even if
But
they don't
when
think like that, they act like that. But yeah.
they do, but they usually don't tell everybody in the world word for word that I'm never wrong at 14.
Yeah.
I know, but I didn't feel that way.
The parents had to have known something was up. Mostly wanting to grow a penis and be a boy and what so hold on. It was a girl that wanted to be a real Pinocchio, right?
No, it was a boy.
It was a boy that wanted to be a girl.
I believe so.
Am I tripping? I thought it was a chick.
No, Colt. The name Colt.
I don't know if a chick wants to be a dude. Yeah, she could be a cult.
Oh, you think it was a chick that wanted to be? No, bro. Let me
That
screen
was
share real quick.
so that was a boy.
Yeah,
That
absolutely.
so how was that boy?
I'm just gonna
And
screen share pictures. Like if you Google pictures of Colt Gray. That's all I'm gonna share. So that's the father.
No, Colt is a male to female. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I guess we can't really call it that because males can never become females. Maybe she was PMSing and just shit went down, you
And then
know.
if I go back, there's stuff like this. You know.
These are filled with hatred and fairy dust.
Unfortunately, this picture right here is kind of heartbreaking, man. Like if this is
Mm.
him right here, or if I think that's him right here, right? The son and the father, they blanked out the other child, so you don't see them. Blanked out the other children. He was the oldest, I guess.
Mm.
Right?
Dude, oh man.
Like this looks like a regular American family,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
And
it does.
you know, but then you look at this, and I mean, he might have been just extremely saddened by this in this photo. I'm not gonna say that I can
Bro,
necessarily point down he looks any real type of way. I mean, I could imagine my face at that point in life.
pause. Is that a 70 series Colt down there to the left? Ooh.
This is a gray Colt. If you were Googling gray Colt, I'm sure it comes up like this. You know?
If that's what you were looking for, man.
Wow, this one's this one right here has a whole new meaning.
Wow, wow,
Ugh.
dude. I hope someone didn't make that after some. Oh man, you know what though? Honestly, here's how. Oh my bad.
Colt just
Here's
lost
how,
millions in stock today.
bro. Here's how twisted people of opposing beliefs, like people that think differently than we do, are. They would make a shirt like that and they would call
Oh
this person
man,
a hero
yeah,
because they believe that people that think like we do should be destroyed, are bad, wrong, evil, or whatever, which is absolutely insane because people like us that think the way we do, we don't necessarily think that the person is evil, right? Everyone can change. Everyone can be. I actually think it's honestly respectable when people get new information, actually digest it, and come to a different conclusion and change. I think that's a beautiful thing, right? But usually people that don't think like we do, the people of opposing beliefs, usually what I've found is that they don't just hate the idea, they hate the person that retains the idea, and they are the enemy, they're the racist, they're the bigots, they're the whatever, right? And I don't know when that changed from when we grew up to where it was like there are three things you don't talk about. You don't talk about religion, money, and politics. Boom, like that's it. Now that's all we talk about at all. But man, that's
I mean, with your kids, you should for sure be talking about those three
oh,
things,
for
right?
sure. But like, I
Like,
mean, like in mixed company, like you don't go to your
yeah,
friend's house and be like, "So
it's
who y'all
different.
voting for?" Right? Like, it's just how much y'all make. you know,
Yeah.
like, could you
By the
imagine it?
taste of these beanie weenies, I think I know.
I could guess. Like, imagine if you went over to like a neighbor's house for dinner and your kids were like, "Y'all see what that shit Kamala said? Spinning spaghetti noodles up and shit." You'd be like, "Oh man." So what are you pulling in that job? Oh my god! Like just the cringe factor from that.
But I
Like
mean,
it.
we also didn't have the polarization, man. First of all, the alphabet thing didn't exist. If it did, it was like
Yeah.
at adult nightclubs, you
Yeah.
know, on the block where the hookers walk, wherever that is in your town, you know, like the weirdest people stayed over there. And now it's like, dude, when you have the media and television pushing this stuff, I mean, dude, it's
Obviously, social media is a huge aspect of that.
yeah. I played that. Remember the one about the gun debate that I did a review on?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep, yeah.
Yeah. So that channel had one where it was like transitioners versus detransitioners, and they were having a debate, which was like very interesting psychology to watch.
Dang.
And it was just of like the way the mindset was like the ones that were D coming transmissioners, they just like got it. Like I was tricked into this, and almost all of them said the same thing. They realized this through social media.
Wow.
They saw it on social media and was like, I could do that. And then you add in filters and everything else. It's like,
yeah. Dude, it's because that's their identity, right? So, like, think about this. Think back to between the ages of 8 and 18, okay? And not just, Dark and Red Dawn, everyone in chat, type a 1 in chat, okay? If at any point between the ages of 8 and 18, you felt like you didn't belong and or you weren't certain about your identity at least once.
no,
Like, did
I
you
can't say that I was, but I mean, I was the third child. I worked in a family business. Like I was involved in sports. Like I was like confident in like who I
so like
was.
you kind of so for all of your childhood up until you were a young adult, you were like certain about who you were and that you were like fitting in the right place and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, one of the hardest things for me was like when I realized my sports career was done. Like it was like,
Mhm.
nope, no D1 offers. Division 3, Nebraska, not going. Like that's
Dang.
when I was like, man, my identity was like, okay, but I just continued to do it. I showed up to every park. I went to the colleges that I was around and would
But
play against their so like,
that's kind of what I'm
but it was
talking
still
about
like
though.
a mental thing. But it wasn't like college. You know what I mean? Where I was like, okay,
Yeah.
what am I going to do with my life? Because and this is one of the reasons why I'm not like crazy on youth sports. Like I do think youth sports are important. It's good to learn about competition. It's good to learn about putting in work and seeing results and fitness
Mhm.
and staying fit and being active. But on the other hand, it's like you don't want your kids to just identify as an athlete because one day that career's over and you got to figure out what are you going to be for the rest of your life, which could be another 60
Yeah,
years,
yeah.
78. So it's like you don't only want to identify as that. And I had a brother who got drafted to the minor leagues right out of high school.
Dang.
And yeah. And it was big time. And then when that ended and he didn't make it all the way, injury or whatever that happened,
Mhm.
right? It was like that for him then. And what was kind of crazy, it was like we both were going through it at the same time because, he was so many years older than me and they paid for college when he was done. And so we started college together
Mhm.
and we were both kind of going through of like, well, we'll just go to the gym every day and that'll be what we do. But it was also like, where the hell is this road going to end up? Like
Uh,
you never considered all those things because you
yeah.
just thought sports.
Um, chessboard. I appreciate you, being open enough to share that with us. Aren't you a man? I I think that's normal. No, so what I mean by this is by what I said is this. So for young adults, for children to young adults between the ages of 8 and 18, we could all agree that those are the most like um vulnerable population for when it comes to I don't know what the best terminology would be, but like they're the most vulnerable population, right?
For sure,
Aside
for
from
sure.
senior citizens that won't give the elites and people in power what they want. Chessboard DLD. Yes, I am. You and me both, brother. So children though, ages let's just say 8 to 18, there's usually one point in their life where they're like, "Man, I don't know if I fit in here." Like, you're more willing to try new things, you're more willing to
For sure,
listen
for
to
sure.
different music, you're more willing to, chill with a new crowd of friends, or,
And you
you're
know what I
unsure
really
about
think
your
leads
current
to that?
crowd of friends. Hmm,
You know what I think really leads to that?
hmm.
Is your parents never gave you an identity. Like
Yeah.
you when you have a child, you're gonna say, and they may not take that, right? You may say, look, this is what you are, this is what I raised you to be, right? And
Mhm.
you're giving them that identity, right? I didn't raise you to be lazy. right? You say
Yeah.
that to a kid, right? And it's like, then it's a self-identification of like, I wasn't raised to be lazy, right? Like you're reinforcing this in your mind. I was raised, I see you working hard. I come from you. Therefore, I'm going to be a hard worker too. Like it just makes sense. Now, there is always that rebellious phase of kids, but the more things that you can make them identify as themselves, whether
Yeah.
it's a hunter or they fish or, but the kids that had nothing where it was like, I identify with my music and my emotions.
They're
Like,
lost.
yeah, those are
They're
the ones
totally
that
lost.
totally
And those are the
lost.
ones that are most susceptible to the evils of the world, right? Like that's and this is the kind of interesting thing that like you would think then a lot of these cases that we would do more to protect our children, and we don't. And this is exactly going back to the same conversation and what we were talking about with guns in schools, right? We could say almost every single mass tragic event, almost every single mass shooting, almost every single event that is even similar to that where there was a death or multiple deaths or more. Every single one was ended with what?
A firearm.
Yeah. A firearm ended the event, whether it was the dirt
Fired
bag.
or not.
Yeah, yeah. Whether it was fired, whether it was not, whether it was just drawn on the individual, or whether it was fired, or whether like they suck started their own shotgun, put their muzzle in their mouth, like whatever. Like it was ended with a firearm somehow. So therefore, one would be, it would just make sense for people, for everyone. I can't imagine anyone not understanding this because they see, oh, that happened because they had a gun. So the gun's the problem. Oh, hold on. What was the solution to every single mass shooting that happened? What was the solution to every mass tragic event, to every bomb, to every
You want to
whatever?
hear me play the devil's advocate liberal for you?
I mean, sure, we could.
It was stopped by a government gun.
Oh, don't even, man. That's because that is one of the things that there's somebody who was trained, somebody who was approved by the state. Fuck the state.
They went through a lot of background checks before they were allowed to roll around with that firearm and protect society. Who do you think you are?
A dude that would do the same thing in 2 seconds. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the joke, right? It's like you having guns is bad, but cops having guns, good. You
Yeah.
having guns being 2 seconds away, bad. Cops having guns 4 to 7 minutes away, good.
Yeah.
Like what?
And then they
How
hit
does
him
that
with
make
the,
sense?
so do you think that the government lies to us and is corrupt? Absolutely. Should they be the only ones with guns? Huh. Now,
Hmm.
when you put it that way, I've never thought of it.
Yeah, you gotta lock them in, have them answer to something, and then immediately ask a question where they would have to contradict themselves in front of everyone. Then it's like, Song Courier, LOL, the way DLD winced at that, red, your hair might as well be purple and your glasses are interesting.
Got him with
Actually,
one last night too. I got him with one, and I told him Goonbeam was going to be on my show next Wednesday.
oh, dude,
You should have saw his face.
Goonbeam, if you're out there, bro, I was actually like about to like mute the mic and like hit you up and be like, yo, you're coming on Red Dawn's show? I was actually kind of hot. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't have a good poker face, y'all. I'm too honest of a person.
He was like, Goonbeam's coming on my show. I was
But
like,
he didn't even notice the bad poker face because it
dude,
got to him so quickly.
you
He
got
was like,
me.
"What?"
You got me. I'm not gonna lie. I literally was like shoved my face in the mic, like, what? Oh, my bad. I just changed my background. Hold on. How did I change my background? No, is someone else in here? Crump, did you do that? Rich, did you do that? Who's doing that?
Is there someone in the backstage?
I don't see anybody back there. Crump, if you're back there, change it to the flower. I'm just kidding. That was me. Okay, so going back to it though, like we know with certainty, almost every single incident like that was, ended with a firearm, which you would think that it'd be simple enough, but to most people that don't think like we do, they think however could the problem be the solution? Because in their minds, the problem is the gun. The problem is accessibility to guns. The problem in all of their arguments about guns being the number one leading cause of death of children in the get out of here.
Here's
Those
here's
it's so
another one.
skewed.
Yeah, it is.
Good.
Like, okay, you're sitting in your house. What's up, Goon Beam? Good to see you, brother.
Goonbeam, what up?
You're sitting in your house on your couch with your wife, and all of a sudden, 3 men come trying to break through the front door. How do you prevent them from raping your wife?
This is like that moment where on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, like questions pop up where like the scene freezes, like you're standing up and you're walking, and then like 4 questions pop up. It's like, do you scream and run? Do you look that exact scenario is actually why I mean, not the whole
Yeah.
grape part, but that's why I started carrying a gun inside my home because I actually saw a bunch of videos. Like once I saw dozens of videos where dudes were like chilling on the couch with their wife and their kids, like watching TV, and they had like a security system inside their house or whatever, and their door just poof flies open, and whatever happens, either they're armed or they're not, or they fight or whatever, they die or whatever. It got me thinking, it's like, man, if I was in that situation where I come home from work and I take off my gun and I put it in the safe and then I go downstairs and I'm chilling on the couch with my family, like if dudes knock down my door, am I going to do I fight right off the gate and die, but maybe let my family escape or whatever, right? Like, or
No,
B,
you ask them for permission to go upstairs and get
yeah,
your gun.
please, can I get y'all some condoms? Please. Oh, that's yucky. Can
And then
could I bring
I'm
myself?
sure you know this, bro. Having a daughter takes
Oh,
takes that shit to the taken level.
bro, I will Rick Grimes someone's throat out with my teeth. Like it's on. It is every
Yeah,
single possible thing and
for sure.
anything I got to do at all by any means necessary.
Yeah,
Done,
absolutely.
right?
If I
But
had to knock down every door in the country.
yeah, yeah. I may get a little sore on the way, but it's going to happen, right?
Yep.
That's why we use tools. That's why we create things like leverage and pulleys. Anyway, so I thought about like how would I feel about having to make the decision, being forced to make the decision of, let's say I get a moment to run upstairs. Let's say they bang on the door and it doesn't come down the first time, and then they bang on the door the second time and it doesn't come down the second time. Do I run upstairs, abandon my family, and leave my family downstairs, possibly with 3 armed, crazed maniacs, while I go arm myself? No, my responsibility to my family, my responsibility to myself for the preservation of life and the preservation of innocent life with my daughter. Um, I couldn't bring myself to do that. So I'm cool feeling a little bit of slight inconvenience with that toaster on the appendix, like I'm cool with that.
100%.
So
Being a streamer, have you ever like had the thought? Like I think about it all the time, and
of
like
course,
I'm
I already
like
know what you're gonna say.
I'm like everybody is going to hear this. If
Mhm,
you're
yep.
coming in, this is gonna stay live because I'm not touching this computer. I'm
Oh, all
gone.
day, all day. I've even thought about maybe some more malicious stuff, like which I don't even want to talk about.
I know what you were gonna say.
Yeah, like because nothing would be better than to, if you got an enemy and they live stream, to send some not so good people their way, whoever those people may be, employed by the state or not, and just listen and see what happens. Or yeah, more on that later. Um,
Facts. So maybe we should get into wargaming.
yeah, man. There's one other aspect though I do want to talk about though, just really quickly.
Mhm.
We when we were talking about arming teachers, I think a lot of
Yeah.
people are kind of deluded and jaded when we talk about that stuff because even people that are like, I mean, a lot of them are like, I'm all about the two-way, but first off,
Ugh.
no one has Second Amendment rights. Okay, No one has Second Amendment rights. You have natural rights that are given to you by God, by nature's God, and then those natural rights are supposed to be guaranteed to you by the Constitution. And the interesting thing here is that, and I'm not trying to school people, I'm just trying to words are important, right? So
Amen.
when we say things, it's important to make sure that we're saying them consistently. Like the extreme left got that shit down, right? If you hear a sentence on MSNBC, you'll hear that same sentence on CNN, that same sentence on ABC, that same sentence on PBS,
A
the
threat to
same
our
sentence
democracy.
on
A threat to our democracy.
exactly. You so you already
Batman.
know. So like that same thing, like that consistency is absolutely important with us too, I believe. And we need to remember that those natural rights that are given to us by God or your creator, um, those are supposed to be guaranteed to us by our constitution and the constitution of your state. And as a matter of fact, the funny thing about this, the shit that gets me every time is that the only job of the federal government is to ensure that your natural rights are not encroached on by the state. By right, and look who's encroaching on our rights. Like the only people that are encroaching on our rights that are encouraging people within your society to, band together to encroach on your
The
rights. Like
ones
this
that
is
swore an oath to defend it.
look at
And
that.
that is why I say, bro, we were taken over long time ago. We're just seeing the slow roll. It's shift has been slow rolling since the 1950s at the end of it. We've
Yeah.
been slow rolling this for 70
Yeah.
years. And that's why it's going to be very bad when it finally happens, because this isn't like just naturally occurring. This plan has been in place for a long time to destabilize and take away what the founding fathers envisioned for this country, because what they envisioned is untakeable. It's not
Yep.
takeable.
Mhm.
They will suffer. The idea of America originally was anyone who tries to take it will suffer
Yep.
trying to take it.
Mhm.
And they found a way to slow roll it so that they indulge themselves while it falls. And before we were even born. Yeah, I agree. I say that the late 50s, but yeah, really, really in the 60s, 100%. But it's the late middle 50s where that plan started rolling into the 60s.
I mean, some people even say that
The
this has been going on for
1900s.
100 years. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Some people say this has been going on for more than 100 years. Some people actually say that since the invention of the concept of money, that's when everything started going down the toilet, which is actually a really interesting perspective.
Oh,
Sorry.
for sure. I mean, the globalism thing has been around for forever, right? Like when you're funding two
Forever.
wars and you're selling oil around the world and you're the guy that owns it all, like once you
Mhm.
control the economy and the main product of the economy, you control everything.
It's a wrap. That's it. That's why, like, dude, it shit ever pops off, man, and I believe it will. I think we're headed in that direction. The problem is that the people in charge, the people that are pulling the strings, the elites, the whatever you want to call them, right? The NWO, I don't care, whatever boogeyman name you give them, right? The people that are pulling the strings, they want to keep society as close to intact as possible, even in the midst of pure chaos, which see, i.e., see COVID, right? Um, if they can do that, then they can keep their revenue coming in through, Amazon Fresh, Walmart deliveries, and Starbucks, and all the stupid bullshit that that people continue buying. And I jokingly say, like, I'm not really joking, but like, if it gets to that point, people will be stepping over corpses in the street to go get their chai soy latte and shit, and they're gonna
Black
do whatever they
Friday every
can.
day.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, that's what they want. Consumerism, convenience, keeping that ball rolling while eliminating the people that they hate and that would revolt and that would fight against them. But if that day does come, I swear to goodness, if you see me coming, if you see Red Dawn coming, if you see any of my viewers coming, you know what people like that are gonna say?
Yeah, that Jason Bourne, I bet he's got a tight butthole too.
Sorry, that was the wrong audio file. Oh, it's so
I was
good.
like, damn, that's
Gigantic faggots. Faggots no.
Oh, whoops, wrong one.
Listen, folks, DLD After Dark is hands down the best podcast in the country. I mean, hands down, folks. There's no other live stream like it. That Dark guy really knows what he's talking about. Oh, and fuck the ATF.
Okay, you gotta say, like, Missouri Survival just nails the Trump voice. And those were good, but if you guys heard him on um John Crump live today, bro, he killed it. He absolutely killed
Oh
it.
man, I didn't hear it.
Oh, dude, he called in. So it was a call-in show, right? Bro, he literally called in, and like, I swear to goodness, it literally sounded like Donald Crump Jr. What I was gonna play, like, being kind of silly, hand and tooth. What do they say? What do they say again? Foot and mouth. I don't know.
Hand over fist.
Yeah, I don't know. Scissors beats paper or something.
Cooperate.
Oh, Jesus Christ, it's Jason Bourne.
Dude, I don't know why, but I was like, bro, you need to do I was like, you could do a Trump voice, you could do any voice you want, but I need Jesus Christ, it's Jason Bourne, because that line is like hilarious, right? Like, and it could be used for anything, like, describing a dad putting on like full kit to go like fight
Did you
the high
finally
school
find the
bully.
right audio that you
Oh,
were
Jesus
looking
Christ, it's Jason Bourne.
Yeah, that was the one. And then he sent me another one after that I also titled Jason Bourne.
Yeah, that Jason Bourne, I bet he's got a tight butthole too. Yeah, that Jason
Dude, there was another one too. Hold on. Which one?
Yeah, that Jason Bourne, I bet he's got a tight butthole too.
Hold on. There's another one.
You know, they say that Pete Buttigieg has a tight butthole, but I bet that Lindsey Graham, I bet there's some competition there, believe me.
Believe me. Dude, he's so good.
Oh,
Man,
man.
he needs to do something with that, man. Like, honestly, if I were him, he needs to like put on a Trump wig and like a white t-shirt with a red tie on,
For
and
sure.
do like a Trump live stream like that, and just be
A total stream.
yes,
He could put out a whole video just standing in front of the camera saying funny stuff, and it would
bro.
be gold.
Absolutely, especially if he says like super like prepper stuff, but like
That
in
would be
the Trump voice. Look, folks, you need to get a life straw. Okay, you should have a life straw in every single. I can't. Sorry, I cannot do a Trump voice. Okay, but we can all enjoy Chris from Missouri Survival and Outdoors. So, moving on to the next topic.
Oh, Jesus Christ, it's Jason Bourne.
Okay, so moving on. When I clicked that, 4 people just left. It's just, sorry guys, I can't stop. All right, my apologies. Gotta go. Peace, love, bullets, and beans. All right, brother, take it easy, man. Appreciate you. Now to the Senate chamber video replay. Okay, so let's get back on. We were talking about WarGaming.
Yep.
I believe, you believe, we believe that it's important to WarGame. Man, I really, 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 I know we can't go super late tonight. I really do want to talk about BoobyTraps Fatale. However, I think that's going to have to be a Bumble stream, and just for the preservation of the channel. And then
For
also, I think because of the value of wargaming, I think we should run through some scenarios and just kind of talk through stuff. So I'll give this to you. Okay.
Mm.
you can come up with the first one,
Okay.
but I'll throw this out there. It is 90 days into shift, and things are just starting to calm down from like pure chaos. Okay, so if you look at like the way the streets were when the BLM riots and just everything was melting, fires, thousands and
Gotcha.
thousands of people everywhere. So those are just starting to die down. So now you can kind of go out and about a little bit, and you can, it's like that kind of, you know, the eye of the storm kind of
For
feel.
sure. For sure.
I think that's that's a good time frame to think of. So yeah,
I
you
think,
come up
I
with
think
whatever
when
you
it
want.
starts to die down, that means the victims have pretty much been eradicated.
Which means if you're going to come across people, what kind of people are you going to come across for the most part?
Well experienced, tyrannical, zombified
Yeah,
individuals.
or dangerous people in general, whether it's the tyrants or
Yeah.
whether it's people that survived the tyrants or people that uh cannibals. Can I say cannibals? You're going to come across some bad folks, right? 90 days of all out chaos, murder, looting, burning,
Yeah.
charred smell. Imagine like, sleeping in shifts, keeping 100% security. Like, think of how just difficult 3 months would be.
So let's say you survived the 3 months. Okay. And you've been
You
holding
survived the 3 months. Oh, sorry. I thought you asked me to say it. Sorry.
what's that one? 28 days later.
28 days. Okay, sorry. I'll stop.
So 90 days into shift, and you're running low on water. Your
Ooh,
water filters that you've stored
we're all
are
Chinese. I'm just kidding.
well, they're getting pretty clogged up because you're using dirtier water that you're filtering than your normal tap water, right? So your
Mhm.
filters are starting to get clogged up. The ate Joe
So-
Biden's uncle.
sorry. I was not expecting to see that when I clicked on it. John Crump Live, thank you for the super duper chat. I wish I had a recording of Missouri Survival reading this. They ate Joe Biden's uncles, believe me. That would be great.
It was
Thank
delicious.
it was delicious. Believe me, folks. It's such a sad story.
They ate him down to the ankle bones.
He's still alive to this day. Thank you, John Crump Live. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you for the live.
So you're 90 days in, you're running low on water.
Mhm.
You're realizing that you need to go collect some, and the closest place to you is about 3 miles away. Okay. You have enough people that you're taking two. You don't want
Yeah,
to
that's
move in. You don't have enough to take a big group, and you have just enough to keep where you're at secure, but two to go together.
that's exactly what I was going to ask. What does the setup look like? Like your group, like what are you leaving behind? So, what
Yeah.
ballpark? How many people? I get like ballpark. How many people are you leaving behind? You said two are coming with you, and how many people
4.
are behind? Four behind.
So you got the 6-man team.
So you got basically so 7 total, 6 plus you.
6 total.
Oh, 6 total. So 3 behind and 3 are going.
2 are going. 4 stay behind to defend
Okay,
the
so
castle.
gotcha. Okay. So you and one other.
Correct. Me and you.
Okay.
And we're on our way to a water source that we know exists. It's a larger water source. It has brush, so we can see stuff. Like we can kind of scope it out before we do anything.
Mhm.
And about 1 mile from the water source, we see some type of raid happening of what are they called? Los Caracas or whatever they're called. Whatever this modern thing is that's going around. I forget what it's called.
Oh, like a whole like apartment building raid or whatever, or
Yeah.
like a single
That
family
level
home?
30 to 45 guys are raiding stuff, running through houses, and we see this big group over here. right? And they're kind of in the way of us getting to the water source, right? And the other
Hmm.
way around it, we know is already not a safe area. So we're thinking, all right, we have to get through this some kind of way.
And it's a mile from the water source.
Correct.
Okay. How
All right.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Ask questions.
So how mobile are they? Are they sitting there with a bunch of vehicles and bikes and
Oh yeah, they got
they got it all? They
dirt
got
bikes.
Dishkas mounted on Hiluxes and
Yeah,
so,
they're all riding around with like Glock switches and just all like pretty much like we could handle a few of them, but we're not tempted to take on and make
yeah.
enough noise and raise our signature, right?
You're talking 30 plus, you said?
Yeah,
Mm,
30
yeah.
plus. All right. And we're gonna make our way around this group, but along the way, we find a small group of like 4 children that are like ducked away in this area, right? But they look like the people who are over there. They look like maybe those are their kids and they got them in a spot while they're doing this, possibly.
Mm.
Okay. And they spot us, right? And
Compromise.
they haven't said anything yet. They're scared. They're young. They don't know what's going on. What would be your first initial thought on what we should do from there? They've spotted us. We have to get around this, right? We've already walked 4 or 5 miles, right? But we also have to carry water back.
Well, hold on. So I thought it was 3 miles away and we're a mile away.
Okay, so we've walked 2 miles.
Okay, far enough to
Yeah.
Okay, I got you. Okay.
And so what would be your initial thought if that happens?
Initial thoughts or what would I do? Because so I mean, look, all jokes aside, 147 grain standard pressure through a 9 mil with a can is extremely quiet.
It's true.
My blade is extremely quiet.
Take their kids to his house and just make them carry the water.
I wasn't thinking that far ahead yet, but I like that a lot. Look, oh man, if you're looking at any level of compromise,
Yep.
neutralize. It sucks, man. So you're saying like, okay, so let's say the people that are, pirating and booging and looting and I would assume reaping and pillaging and just doing all sorts of terrible things.
Yep.
They look a certain way, they dress a certain way, and then these kids look that same certain way, dress that same certain way. They smell the same, they got that char of human flesh
Mhm, mhm.
on them. Um, man, how old are the kids?
6, 7.
Man, my
8.
daughter's 7. Why you gotta do that to me?
I know, bro, but these are things that
Look, I honestly would
they do look a little feral.
for every time I made fun of the dudes that rock a spool of tape on their plate carrier or their gun belt, I envy you now because I always
I
say
do
like,
that.
"Psh, unless you're EOD, there ain't no reason to." But that's also not in a shit at the fan scenario, right? So
Sure.
duct tape and zip ties are very important. Honestly, so I can.
But if they seen you, they
Mhm.
can scream and bring attention to what's going on there.
They can, but you said they haven't screamed. Did they
They
scream
haven't screamed, but
yet?
they spotted us about 40 yards, 30 yards, right? They're kind of peeking like, what could that be? Because they're already paranoid that they're sitting in this spot. And they're like, they're interested in what's going on. They're kids, they're curious about everything, and they see you. You're not like right there.
Look, I'll be real, man. Here's the issue. So I imagine the people back at our compound are people we love and care about, right? We survived because we are not raping and pillaging and stealing and looting, and that's not what we stand for. And I think even though this would not be my first thought now in the life that we're living currently, this would not be my first thought. But in that moment where we're literally at risk of starving to death and dying of thirst, and where the people that we love and care about may be next from what we're watching, right? All this terrible ish going on, I would be like, yo, Red Dawn, I'm gonna go up and I'm gonna like offer them lollipops. You take the two on the right, I'll take the two on the left. And we're gonna, not I mean, that's a stupid
For
way, but I'm
sure, for
just saying
sure,
for an example, we're gonna come up with
for
a
sure.
plan on eliminating them as quickly as
There's enough
possible.
noise going on around that they may not even realize that
Yeah.
what's happening, even if you don't have subsonic suppressed. We probably
Yeah.
would. But
Yeah, I mean, I think that honestly, it would make sense for one person to be loud and one person to be quiet, or
yeah,
like you're rocking a 300 blackout with a can, right? I'm rocking a 5.56 with a can, so one's kind of not loud, but one is really not loud, so we can get away with and like literally right there, 9 millimeter with a can that I would probably keep with me. I got the can pouch I can throw on the belt, so it's not far fetched to think like we both already have the equipment. It's
for
not far
sure.
fetched to think like, okay, we're gonna have to schwack them like that. That's it. Now that doesn't mean that we're still going to the water source though, because hear me out. I would be really tempted to say schwack them, turn around and leave, and just take the L.
No. Other than that, we might as well just circle back around and lose them.
But is that, well, if they saw us and the only reason they're not yelling or running to go tell their people is because they're wondering like if we're going to come closer, and then we would be too much of a threat for them to, they may try to play along and be like, oh, help us, we're being taken captive, but really it's their mommies and daddies over there,
Mhm.
but they don't know we're just going to schwack them out the gate. So I would say schwack them, and then one, I would say find another water source. If we can't find another water source, if there is no other water source that is not safe, then the only other option would be to completely abandon the mission because of the compromise. Because they're going to eventually come out and be like, "All right, go get the kiddos," and they're going to be all twisted up, looking like they're having a bloody breakdancing competition, and by the time that we go get the water and come back with like barrels, IBC totes, or whatever on a wagon, they're probably going to be seeing like this just
For sure.
happened. Let's go find the people that did it. 1 mile radius, 1 mile with dirt bikes and cars, they could find us like that. So the
Mhm.
likelihood of us getting the water and getting back to our loved ones is highly unlikely. So I'd say we either leave because of the hard compromise,
Contingency.
or yeah. But what is the one thing that, whether you're one person versus 30, doesn't matter. What is the one thing that levels the playing field between 100?
Energetics.
Yes. If there were no laws, um, I would absolutely be synthesizing mad energetics. And even if it's not like crazy high energetics, HE, whether it's RDX or
Sick,
ETN
Drew.
or whatever,
I'm
like,
glad you got that thing, Drew. That's awesome to hear, man.
oh, nice. That's dope, man. That's dope. Um, yeah, I mean, whether it's RDX or ETN or like, INAP or whatever, like, even if I couldn't synthesize like highly effective energetics that are like pink mist energetics, bro, I could make some silly, stupid, rudimentary stuff that would level that building, or at least cause
Protect my
enough,
V.
uh, the energetic thing. Oh, ray gun. I
But there's 30 to 45. So I mean, unless you had
Hey,
something
you
that
said
was
30.
like,
Where's this 45 shit coming from, bro?
but you, I mean, we're not counting them. We see like, a,
Approximately 30.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. So there
Are
could
they
be
all in the building?
No, there's
all
some outside
around?
hanging
Okay.
out. There's some, you know,
So it's
pulling
way too
somebody
messy.
who's screaming. Yeah, it's
Way
messy.
too messy. Okay.
Yeah.
And at that point, you and I probably aren't walking close enough to communicate, so we're, a little bit of ways away from each other, so we don't get splattered at the same time. So we probably can't communicate directly. Man, that's a tough one, dude. I would like to say ignore and bail out, but here's the other thing. What is only 2 miles away from these freaking pirates?
Us,
Our loved ones and us, right? So
for sure.
blow them bitches up, man. I mean, but then the risk of that, yeah. I don't know, man. It's so tough, dude.
So I would say we would avoid. Um, we would lose them. Make sure that we're not being followed. We're gonna go an alternate route back. We're
Well,
gonna
hold on.
consider a
Are you
second water
saying,
source.
are you saying the kids
Yeah,
or both?
I'm gonna avoid the kids completely
But
because
the
they know
kids
there's
saw you.
people. Yeah, I mean, they see me, they see all kinds of stuff going on, right? There's people over there, there's people here. They may say, "We saw two guys with guns,"
But here's
and
what I'm
they
thinking though. So
okay,
here's the only reason, not to cut you off, I just want to add this. The
for sure.
reason why I went down the path that I did was because of this. If you see 4 kids that are kind of hiding in the bushes, maybe the
Yeah,
parents told them to go there so they didn't see all the terrible things they did,
for
whatever, right?
sure. Yep.
If they see you and then you're calmly in a, kind way approaching them, they're going to be less likely to yell, "Daddy," right? As opposed to you popping your head up, them making you, and then being like, "Oh shit," and then running away. The moment you're running away and not going to be like a
No,
person that's
I would
safe.
say that we're gonna go smooth and calm. We're not gonna like be panicked and look sketchy. Like, don't look
Mhm,
sketchy. Look like maybe you know them and continue on your path away from them and circle back around, avoiding this whole thing, not going to the water source because you realize that you got to come back this direction with water. So that's not going to
mhm,
work either, right?
yeah,
Now, if you did that, if you also took them out and these
mhm,
guys come back and find the kids that are gone, it's going to
yeah,
be the same thing as if they said they saw you.
yeah,
They
for
know
sure.
you're there.
It's just slightly delayed.
Yeah, and they're gonna be more pissed.
Yeah, but they're no matter what, they're 2 miles from you. So the
Exactly.
likelihood of you running into them,
So what would we need to go get if we didn't have a boatload of energetics on us? What would we need to go connect with?
ding. Callaway,
Absolutely.
great to see you, bro. Great to see you. Yeah, it's definitely good to leave some surprises behind. Sorry. So what was the question
I
again?
agree. I would say that we need to go back and get our other 4 guys and come up with a plan for how we're gonna handle this situation 2 miles away from us. And
And
we're
you're
gonna need
saying
to
we do not have a boatload of energetics?
we don't. We may have a few little things on us, but
Yeah.
not a boatload.
Okay. So
We got some smoke. We got some flashes. We know that we can escape and evade if we had to. We
okay.
have that understanding of if the attention was brought to us, we can pop smoke, we can separate, we can book it, right? We're probably nice
Yeah.
and warm after walking 2 miles, feeling
Yeah.
like I can book it right now.
Yeah.
So, I would say play it cool, keep going, and circle around a different route back.
Come back with a fire team and then, lay
Yep.
some hate. Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
At
so
dark.
let's say so we're rolling back up on the property and we'd originally seen, let's just say 30, right? Because there have been countless
Yeah, we
uh
were hitting it with the 19, 21,
hmm? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
the ticker.
I was like, the what? um, so let's say they're 30, right? Only because there are countless real life scenarios where one fire team took out 30 plus people, right?
Mhm,
I mean,
mhm.
that is a real like it's a realistic thing, that can
Absolutely.
happen.
The 6 of
Um,
us, no problem.
yeah. So, hey, if DLD is there, we got a boatload. Okay, so here's what I would say. Let's make things even more interesting. So let's say we saw 30 there. We come back to assault and we see 15 to 20. Do we still hit? or do we say, "Oh, this is too messy," and do we pull out?
No,
Because
we
that's
hit. That's a good sign of like we cut the number in half. We let you know y'all better go somewhere because the rest of y'all, if we took out this 15 and you came back,
let's say the other
what's
10
gonna happen to
or
the other one
15
then?
come back behind us while we're assaulting.
Well, that's why you all 6 can't assault. You got to have
Yeah,
somebody on Overwatch.
of
You
course.
know, you put the X. You
But
have
it's a possibility that someone could get past some. I don't know, I'm just kinda thinking out loud
you
that,
give
like,
that guy who's on Overwatch an energetic, so that way if someone's coming around, you know that if we hear this, then someone's coming up behind you, and
yeah,
you gotta war game that shit and all those plans beforehand.
yeah.
But I mean, if 10 coming up behind you on the other 5 and you get that sign, you still got 10 coming up behind you. So you're still gonna have a firefight there.
I mean, really, if we're within 100 yards and, all of us got night vision, right? Like, in real life, so I'd assume that we would have night vision then too.
For sure.
Bro, I mean, the best bet would be to, clock the place, get a 360-degree picture of the outside, and then identify how many are outside on security. Um, Once we know what percentage of security they got, then waste the dudes like in a synchronized manner on the outside,
Yep.
and then as quietly as possible. Um, and then once that happens, so if there's 6 of us, a few of us are going to have to take 2 targets, which could get messy. A shot could go off or whatever. But let's just say that in this situation, let's say there's 6 outside. Okay. Just for the sake of saying we could do a synchronized,
Right. So there's 24 somewhere.
yeah, somewhere, probably inside, doing terrible things to terrible people and doing terrible things to people and corpses. I just assume that if they're that disgusting. And then the rest of the people that are inside, let's say 24 of them, if it's a decent sized building, um, we in a synchronized manner take out all 6. And then it's time
Oh,
to
that's
assault.
perfect. I say
What do we do?
we take out all 6
Mhm.
and then we set a trap for the
Yeah.
ones to come out the building. So when
Maybe
they come
even
out
leave
that building,
one alive to
or
yell.
just if we got energetics, bro, we could set a trap because you
Yeah,
can make that noise happen.
bottleneck them into, yeah, 'cause
Toast.
I don't wanna go in I
No.
mean, 6 on
We
24 with CQB, that's a nightmare.
yeah,
Um,
no.
but we could definitely if we took and kept the kids and then put them out as bait later. Oh, okay. All right. Now, well, man, but then we gotta keep them, and if they follow us back to our place, oh, that's too messy.
That's messy.
Yeah. Um,
You gotta go as stealth, surprised, escape, evade.
yeah.
If you are going on a mission like that, we gotta be running. Hopefully, someone's got some quiet stuff, man. Because
I
like
mean,
if we find that 6, you don't want to alert everybody, and we didn't, and we missed 2, and
yeah.
we didn't plan for the fatal funnel before we took those 6.
And
You
2
know.
could take out 6 easily if they're just, camping, as, the COD people call it.
Yep.
Yeah, and if we have high explosives, it's highly likely that they have high explosives. Man, that would be the best loot drop ever, though. 30 dudes stuff, man.
Yeah. And they
Yeah, I
did
mean,
all the dirt to get everything, and now we just bring in justice
but
and capitalizing on stuff.
and liberating the people that were just being, held against their
Harmed.
will,
Correct.
harmed.
Correct.
So there's a lot of good with that, but, are we doing this with 0 water?
We don't have 0 water. We're low
We're
on
just
water.
low on
So
water,
it's
okay.
almost like maybe we should do this as well because A, they're in the middle of our water source
Mhm.
access. B, they may have water as well there, right? If there's
Yeah,
30, they got something.
yeah.
So we may need what they have. and we need to clear them out of the path if we are going to get water.
Yeah.
Or we can go do the turtle rain dance in the backyard and hope that something gets filled up.
Yeah. That ain't happening. So, okay, so let's say
Yeah.
we take out security in a synchronized manner. What is the trap that we lay?
We're gonna have to have somebody be in the goose, or there has to be an energetic that goes off that it like lets them know, right? Or we
So
stack all the bodies at the entry of where they're at, and then we throw an energetic on the top of those 6. That way, when they come out, it looks like all 6 just got hit with the energetic. They didn't even know that we already shot them. They didn't even know that they were already dead. But we're gonna stage it as if these dudes just got taken out with something, right? So somebody's gonna come pay attention. Now they could not come out, and if
yeah,
they were smart, they wouldn't come out. They
they
would.
may not
They
care
would.
about their people.
I mean, even if they care, they may send a few out.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I think initially thinking from the standpoint of like just being a saboteur and slowing them down, stopping them, not necessarily winning, but just being a total pain in the ass and them not knowing anywhere about where
Gorilla.
we are or anything at all. Yeah. Like that's I do like that.
Yeah.
But if we're pulling them out and we're throwing a goose out there to just like to bust off an unsuppressed shot and then run to the woods, what I would like to do in theory, I'm just throwing that out as a stupid as an
For sure.
example.
For sure.
But let's say this: if we were to, let's say they have 3 trucks and 6 dirt bikes and whatever, wire up the truck, wire or the trucks, wire
Blow
up
it
the
up.
dirt bikes, and the moment they come out to chase whoever for whatever reason that we set up, right, the bait, the moment they get in the trucks,
Oh man, I'm glad
boom.
I'm the one that doesn't know how to wire it up. Whoever
I
knows how to do
mean,
that, I got you on Overwatch, bro. Go wire the bitch up, dog.
you'd be surprised how primitive time devices can be.
I believe it.
Extremely primitive. Um, even with cannon fuse, you could do some
I get the
crazy
quick
stuff.
TED talk, and it's like, you're up.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, dude, there's
Is it the
so
blue
many.
wire or the red wire?
Feel which one is hot. That's such BS, by the way. The whole cut the shield off the wire and or the plastic off the wire and feel which one is hot. No, they call it the hot wire for a different reason. It's not actually physically hot. It could be,
Right.
but it may not be. Um, yeah, but then it'd be nice to have those vehicles. It'd be nice to have those dirt bikes. Are we blowing up Dishkas on accident? There's but then is our greed going to get in the way of our survival?
No, yeah, we're not getting greedy. If anything, I think we blow the vehicles up, then
Mhm.
they're coming out. They're not going to
Yeah,
stay in
yeah,
there,
yeah,
right? They got no vehicles. You just start terrorizing to the point where it's like, are y'all coming out, or are you guys staying in there forever?
yeah,
And if they are, then we have to wait, and we would need to do some surveillance to make sure it's 30. We would need to um watch before we did this run, because like I don't
yeah.
think we've gathered enough information on this first thing that happened with us and the kids and the
Yeah.
chaos to
We
really
should
get
watch
enough
for
information.
a
Yep.
day. Like
Yeah.
that
Maybe
would probably
2.
be best. Yeah. Yeah, it would depend. That's an important academic exercise. Hey, come out in PLA. Good to see you, bro. Um that's an old battlefield trick I used to set shit on my tanks and trucks. Then you get out, you bail, they think you're being sneaky. Hold on. Um and
Blow your
steal
own
it, game
vehicle up.
over. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's a tough call. That's part of the thing that's kind of messing with me is like the kids, right? Like, so if the ultimate goal is water, and we're not out of water, we're just low on water. That it's kind of a different story. So I concur. I think that's a good move. Because the other thing is like how could we just walk away, right? Because I know a lot of people would just say, just avoid them, get out of there, find a new water source, leave, don't even engage. But they're 2 miles from your family. And looking at what they're doing,
I mean, an option could be us go 4 or 5 miles and start moving in the other direction, but
sure,
it
yeah,
just depends on a lot of different factors of like, okay, so we know this thing's 2, 3 miles north of us. Let's go 10 miles south. Do we have a way to do that? Do we have kids with us? Are we going to be on foot?
yeah.
What if there's another group that's 2 miles in that direction?
We could follow them for like 2 weeks and just slowly take them out, poison them, cap them one at a time, blow their shit up, like just totally sabotage every aspect of their lives. You
Facts.
know,
That's the way, that's how you want to do it.
by the way, shout out to Key ASC who gave me this delightful OTF bottle opener, which I'm about to use to open up my
That's dope.
yeah, it is cool, man. And it also so it's a Cobra Tech and it actually matches my blue OTF Cobra Tech knife as well.
Y'all know how to distill water with plastic sheets and a rubber hose and bowl.
You'll know how to distill water with plastic sheets and a rubber hose and a bowl. No.
I mean, I'm sure I could figure it out.
I know about 24 other ways to get water, but not that one. I would be interested to learn about that. What I can do with plastic is make gasoline, which could be handy. Not like in a super quick way.
Give me 2 seconds.
Yeah, go ahead. Off, but kind of still on topic. See how easy that slip is when folks have said before that they would take from others. You remind them to be good guys. Now you're talking, blowing stuff up and taking. Yeah, well, so okay, so here's what I'm thinking, right? Like I would still consider if there is a gang of 30 pirates that are raping, pillaging, taking, hurting, I think eliminating a threat like that, liberating the people that are being oppressed by them, and so I think that's okay. I still think that's right, and I think that's righteous. I don't think it's murder. I think it's killing. So personally, I see that as okay. I mean, in that situation where you're with your family, and by the way, let me just say this: all of these events are fantasy. We're wargaming. We're literally just talking about fiction, nonfiction, no, fantasy, whatever. I forgot which one is real, which one is fake. We're talking about fiction, fictitious situations, fictitious people. This is all fake and pretend. These are all academic exercises. So YouTube, fuck off. But yeah, so I mean, I think honestly, eliminating a threat like that, liberating those people, and procuring their equipment, I think is not the worst thing that can happen in a world without rule of law. And I mean, that may be the wrong way of looking at it, but that's kind of how I feel about it. I think most will be in the position of taking. The vast majority plan on trying to produce their own crops for the first time during shit the yeah, I mean, dude, if you're not able to, if you're not very well experienced in growing, that is not a very easy and quick turnaround. People are dreaming if they think they're gonna start growing shit when shit hit the fans, especially with like 12 square feet in their backyard. Um, a combination of things supplemented by very skilled uh, horticultural and agricultural, skills. That's different. Um,
All right,
you're
I
assuming that
got a
they're not.
caveat to the whole situation. You want to hear it?
Oh, okay, yes, but hold on. I want to add this. You are assuming that they're not reclaiming what was rightfully theirs in the first place. That's true. We're coming up on a situation and we're seeing them take out all these people. Those people may have done them terribly wrong. But I mean, if they're graping people and they're slaughtering I mean, we're assuming that like we can tell who's right and wrong. But you're right. We never know for sure. Yes. Sorry, Red Dawn. Go ahead.
So let's say we get back to our location. We avoid or we silence the children. We get back to our location. We're having a plan, right?
Craig, what up? Yep.
And whoever's on this plan.
Hold on. It broke up for a second. So I heard whoever's on what Overwatch, you said?
Yeah, whoever's on Overwatch while we're making this plan either hits us on the radio inside or they leave their post and come down to say, there is a woman with a child who's headed our location. Right? So we're inside. We're not sure which child this is. If one of the children that's lost, if maybe they've been watching us, if this is now something else, right? We have no idea what's going on. We just know that situation happened. And then within a few hours of us getting back to our location, there's a woman and a child approaching our area.
Did we avoid or did we engage?
We avoided.
Okay. So we avoided. We said, okay, we'll plan to get water in some other way or once they're gone or whatever. So we're still running low and probably now lower on water because we had a trip. And
Yep.
And we are coming back, and whoever's on Overwatch says, hey, heads up, there is a woman with a child walking within X amount of yards of our compound.
Yep. 150 yards.
Okay. You want to go first?
No, I'll let you.
I'm
I'll
happy
let
to
you
go first.
Yeah.
So it would almost be impossible for me to believe that that is coincidental. There's no, well, it would be hard for me to believe that that's a coincidence. Excuse me. I think it's, I think the best play would be to have everyone prepare for something terrible to happen and lay low and disappear and see where they go. And I guess the next question would be, where are they going? Where did they come to? Did they
So
come
there,
to a compound directly to our compound?
yeah, I mean, there's only so much stuff that there's signs of that we're living, right? There's signs
Okay,
that
so we can't
people
just hide.
can't just hide.
It's like signs that say like,
If we hide, we're having to book it in the opposite direction if that's the plan.
okay, let me ask you this. The mother and the child, or the woman and the child, because it would be foolish to assume that that woman is definitely the mother. Do they look similar to the type of people that were
Similar.
graping? And okay,
Yep.
I know that sounds so bad, right? But it's like you got to keep it real. If people are wearing similar clothing, if they look the same, if they look fed the same, if
Yep.
they, all those things do they
Yep.
have roughly the same hygiene? Um,
Yep.
Man, that is almost impossible. It's almost impossible that that is a coincidence, and we got to be on guard. What happens next?
So they're headed in our direction, and it's either the dude on Overwatch is like, should I take the shot? Should I take them out? Right? And if you take them out, you're gonna have to think, okay, maybe this was a setup. So we're gonna need to watch real closely right now. If we could take them out and then watch and see if 30 come out the trees behind them or something, right?
This is the most important question. Uh, just kidding. You'd be surprised. In Schiff, everyone is hot. Every chick is hot.
Yeah, she's
Um,
like, yeah.
Solid 6.5.
Well, it's
Uh,
shift, right? So you have your beer goggles on.
yeah.
If you're not married, you're like, I haven't seen a woman in 90 days.
Yeah,
Right?
it
You got
doesn't
the dude
smell
in the
like.
group who's like, yeah, beer goggles are on.
Yeah.
He's a
So I
little
mean,
delirious. He's been eating once a day.
I can I can't say take the shot just out of the gate. Um, no matter what. So let's say it's not a setup and you schwack them. That's not neighborly. And if it is a setup and you schwack them, um, you're going to know right away. And all of a sudden, we have a much bigger problem. So they may just be trying to watch us, count our security, see how many people we got. Like they may just be trying to use a woman and a child, which is like that's where all the soft spots are for, right? The oh, it's a woman and a child, and like we talked about the situation with it's a child with a broken arm, right?
Yep.
You don't know who broke that arm, right? Like you don't, so
But you also don't know if one of the children went to their mother after
mhm.
seeing us and said, "There's other people over there and they're escaping."
Yeah, and then they followed us, and that's how they know back. That's what I'm saying, that it's not a coincidence, right? Like,
They just were wandering. They were like, "There's people somewhere over here."
yeah, right? Like that either they followed us or they are literally sending several groups of a woman and a child out all over the area to see if they, you know what I mean? So it's definitely highly likely that it's foul play, but being aware we are the timeline, we're still what 3 months in
Bob.
are you sure it's a woman? So we're still 3 months in the shift.
Yeah. And we just had this situation happen hours before like we got back.
Yeah. I would say do not take the shot and let it develop and see what happens. Prepare, but
Say take the shot.
you
I
say
would say
take the shot.
take the shot. If we have energetics and we've been in this place for 3 months, we have a plan for if this happens. We've thought about this situation happening more than any other situation.
Sure.
And if we have a solid plan, I'd say take the shot, and then we can know whether or not we're already targeted. Because if you don't take the shot and you help, they could do the remember how you said they could do the poisoning, they could do this, they could
Yeah, I'm
do
not saying to help. I'm just saying that let's say that that you did take the shot and nothing happens. No one comes out the woods, no one attacks, no one. So if it's a woman and a 7-year-old, like you think it's okay just
no, I don't.
I mean, the alternative is wait and see, but no matter what,
If they
where
come
if
to
it
the
is a setup,
door and they come to the door and now everything's closer and the setup's closer, you're also endangering everybody by not realizing what's happening as soon as possible and keeping it at a distance. Because I think if you take that shot at 150 yards, we can decide nothing's happened. We have hours. We need to move. Or we could see them coming now. Let's say that they're like, oh, hell no. Right. And they're approaching us. They're approaching us at a greater distance. Right. But now, all right, let's say they're at 150 yards and they get to 75 yards, and somehow we can kind of see some other people who are following them.
do they have a dog with them? Bark.
Nope,
Sorry.
no dog.
Later, some courier. Um, sorry. What was the last part you said?
Now they're about 75 yards, 50 yards, but Overwatch is seeing something else that's about 200 yards out.
What are they seeing?
Some guys in the distance, in the bushes, off the distance.
It's different, totally different story. Man, there's a lot of context missing here. It's hard to say. Like, looking through a looking through the
Magnified
glass.
optic. Yep.
Yeah, like is she exhibiting signs of like having to do this against her will? Is she appearing to conceal.
But we don't
a
even have time to
weapon.
discuss all that because there's one dude on Overwatch who's got to make a decision. And he may have another guy who's within talking distance, and then that guy might be within talking distance of someone else in the group.
See, I would
right?
assume we have comms, but okay, so let's just assume we
Then
don't.
maybe we've used all our batteries.
Yeah.
Maybe solar hasn't been so hot for us.
Yeah.
Ain't running no gas generator 3 months in.
Yeah, no.
How you recharging these comms 3 months into shift without a solar generator?
You remember that
We got enough batteries that we're putting the wires on the end and
Yeah,
making a
right.
plug.
You remember the what was it? It's one of the Night of the Living Dead movies. Was it? It was something like that where they were on the rooftops and they were writing on whiteboards and looking with binoculars at what they're saying, like we're communicating like that.
Yeah.
Man, I mean, if they're
Hand
starting
crank
to,
generator. Yeah, we got someone on the pedal bike.
yeah, right, the hamster wheel.
Keep going. We're 30% charged.
If we're seeing
Bicycle generator, yeah.
if we're seeing, so now if they're at 75 yards and we're seeing signs of a setup brewing a couple hundred yards out, few hundred yards out, then anyone that comes within that distance to our compound is an enemy. And
You're taking the shots.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it sucks, but sorry your mom made you do this. you know, I mean, I don't see another way.
Would
I
you
mean,
take the shot at something that's 200 yards out, or would you take out the woman and child first?
so-
Like, what would you want Overwatch to do? Take out the distance thing that they're seeing? That's a man.
So so there's a couple different things here. One, how do we know that woman isn't going to come to our door? If we're like, hey, Overwatch, wait, right? Let her come to the door. Let's say that she comes to the door and she clacks off a vest, right?
That's what I was gonna say. That's why I take it at the first sign of it and see what happens.
But the other side of this is shout out to whoever just placed an order from DLD Hardware. Thank you. Appreciate you. But let's say that so if we have a compound and we've been there, we've survived through the most difficult part of shit at the fan, which would be the first 90 days with all the chaos, all the craziness. We are going to have a perimeter and we are going to have a set of this is the protocol of these are the things that we do if X happens and Y happens. So I know we're kind of doing this like off the cuff, right? But we're probably going to have signs out there that say if a higher volume of people were coming through over the first 90 days, we're going to have signs out there that say if you walk past this point, you are going to be shot, right? Like, no question. We're going to have explosives out in the field. We're going to have traps out in the field. So another thing, what other external threats are we dealing with? So not just the people that are all in the same situation that we're in. What other external threats are we dealing with? Are we dealing with zombies? Are we dealing with tyrants? Checking Zine papers.
It's been chaotic from every stance. So you have no grid. You have gangs that have been taking over areas. You have the military that has FEMA camps miles and miles away, but there's obviously, it's a big country, so it could be 10 miles from you.
And people are disappearing.
People are disappearing. It's total shift.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, you're back an hour and a half to 2 hours later, hour and 45 minutes later, they start approaching.
So, I would say if a woman and a child are 150 yards away, I would say monitor but don't shoot. If we get them within 75 yards and they are starting to see things 200 to 300 yards away, they're hostiles at that point. So eliminate both of them. And
what if they were fleeing that group, like I said, but that group had followed them and noticed them leaving?
Sure. It could be they and you know what? That was a terrible mistake of them to walk past those signs and to not, because I'm thinking not only are we saying hey, if you walk past these points you will be shot. They were probably being forced to. If
Mhm.
they were fleeing, then they did it the wrong way. Sorry. And at that point, we're probably going to start setting off some charges 200 to 300 yards away and totally sabotage all those mofo's.
Yep. I agree. I mean, you're gonna have to make the defense of the castle at some point, right? If you see all this, and now you have
Yeah.
signs as well. So like the signs in general are gonna be like, okay, so people are here, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
And
maybe
that's
they're ignorant enough to be like they're either told to go past the signs or they're just ignorant. Maybe they don't read English.
yeah, they're either stupid or they're doing it against their will. Right? Like, which could be all the more likely that they're wearing an S vest or something like that. Like, it, who knows, right? Or like, we'll let your daughter live if you do this, and then they clack off a vest and they, spaghetti both of them. Detective John Kimball says you should read or listen to the audiobook of 1 second after. It's about a situation just like this and dives into the reality of the situations and the little details we don't think about. I've heard a lot of people say to check out 1 second after.
I gotta do that.
Yeah, I gotta do that as well.
I came up with this off the cuff, just hearing enough wargaming
Yeah.
scenarios that I'm like, this would be kind of a mess.
So there's one situation that well, is there anything else you want to develop with that at all? You know what? Actually, there's a little something. You go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, we can just keep pondering out what could happen and what would happen, but
Are we still
Um,
basing off the idea of them having about 30 guys? Give or take.
yep.
Honestly, my real question is that if it is a mobile team of 30 guys, how many guys do they have at their command post or compound or whatever, right? Like, if they're pillaging and taking anything and everything and they got a bunch of people.
Yeah, there's 30 outside doing all that. Who knows what's in the building?
Exactly, right? Like they could have a compound with 1,000 people. They could
At
have
least
like,
150 could
yeah,
be.
for sure. Yeah. So there's a lot to unpack with all this, but let's say this. So look, I'll be real. If I was protecting a 300-yard radius around our compound, it'd be hard to imagine that there was just six of us there, but let's just say let's say we got six people, right? It's a fire team, six people, and we have Overwatch, we have security, and we have internal security in the compound, and a 300-yard radius around the whole shit. And
By
then
then, the women
within,
are carrying. 3
yeah,
months in, we're down to
for
6
sure.
men. The women got rifles in hand.
Absolutely. The grandparents got them, the kids got them. I mean,
Everybody's
it's
got 'em.
all there's nobody that's not an asset. If you're a liability, you're donezo. You're going out with the pirates.
Yep.
So okay, so we're going to in my opinion, if I have that compound, then no one that is going to let me say it differently. It's highly likely that anyone that's going to approach that compound is going to either be dangerous directly or be dangerous indirectly. So, like, accidentally dangerous, or just maliciously stupid or stupidly malicious. I don't know what a better way to put it would be, but even if they so let's say we don't cap the woman and child, and let's say we don't see anyone 200 to 300 yards away, and then the women and child, we crack a shot near their feet, and they're like, "Oh hell no!" and they turn around and leave. Let's say they go to the next place, and they're like, I went over to the compound over there, and they were just so mean, and they let off a round, and about they're like, "Oh, there's a compound over there. How many people did you see? What was their security like? What were they?" And all of a sudden, just by them running their mouth, because it's always a snitch that gets people in trouble or dead.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, we have another team of people that we had no idea was even a threat. They didn't know we were there. We didn't know they were there. And now we're dealing with another threat.
Yeah.
So
I say we rig the place. I say we cap them. We watch to see if the horde is headed our direction. If they are, we're going to either have an escape and evasion plan in place, or we're going to have a defense system in place.
We're definitely
And
going to have a defense system in place. We're definitely
yeah,
going to have anti-personnel mines. We're definitely going to have some type of flammable something that not only upon propelling out of small metal canisters does it send very fast moving metal parts, but also it could literally, give us a circle of fire if needed, a moat of fire with a
that
way to
would be
escape.
dope. Hell
I
yeah,
mean, it's actually not that difficult to do something like that,
for sure, for sure.
I mean, even just pickle jars spread out, all the way around with nuts and bolts and drill bits and
Yep,
stuff with black powder could be like
awesome.
absolutely devastating. Ask
Facts.
the IRA about that.
So
But
yeah,
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, but now, like you said, we don't know how big that horde is.
yeah,
So it's like, I think we'd have to watch, and whoever's in charge is going to have to decide after hearing the plan, because we had an hour and 45 minutes. We've discussed what we saw. So someone's going to have a good understanding that there could be a significant 30 to 130
hmm
people out there, right? So, as devastating as that would be, did they send everyone? Did they send 30? Those are the 30 that are the strong arm that they have a hard time controlling, who do these things all the time, right?
yeah,
Maybe the 100 inside is even stronger than the 30 that they just let roam because
hmm
that's what they do. And I think I think we need to move locations as well. I don't think that we
yeah,
should live and die by a location. You have to have, I think in those 90 days, we should have been sending that two-man team out to scope out other locations, fallback locations, right? And I think you still have those things in place, and you leave a final person to distract. You're going to have some type of distraction plan that could
hmm
involve things like that. You could have a three-man team that is doing that, but I think that you need to get to another location, and I
yeah,
think that you need to have those locations scoped out, fallback locations, and where you can move to if you need to move, because yeah, it might be better off there. You may not have to lose everything or risk having
yeah.
to blow your own building up just to be prevented from being captured.
Yeah, I mean, I would guess that we already have a lot of obviously we talk about primary, alternate contingency, emergency. It would be likely that we would have at least another place to go that we also monitor closely. We check on constantly that we know is going to be safe or not. Um, but I mean, if they have no idea, if they're out there 2 to 300 yards away and they see a
Mhm.
lady and kid get smoked, and then they start getting together, getting in their trucks and getting on their dirt bikes, and we let a few devices go, and it knocks out a third of them, right? Even if it doesn't end them all, if it just takes a third of them out of commission, then all of a sudden there's 20 of them. And then if we were to start, just sabotaging things, busting shots, whatever, right? Like,
Mhm, mhm.
I think it would definitely, while all that craziness is going on, you keep Overwatch up and security up while the rest of the people, women and children and elderly people, whatever, everyone gets out, and then leave Overwatch and security there until, the lesser able people are out. Once those people are
Mhm.
out, security and Overwatch backs out, and then we button hook. And when they come up to our compound, we button hook back around and we take out the other 20 somehow, whether
Mhm.
it's with
Mhm.
devices or because one of the issues is, let's say there are 130 of them and only 30 are there. If not every single person, if that is not their final resting place, they're going to get more.
Absolutely.
So, that's
Absolutely.
it's a big piece. So,
This is the one thing that I want to say about the whole situation.
mhm.
This
and
is why.
chessboard, no, I have not hit another human.
No, animals only.
Yeah, I've hit a few animals. But who would ever admit to that on the live stream? Sorry, go ahead.
This is why, right? If you don't have a group or you haven't wargamed and you don't have that pace plan in place, these decisions that can come at you very quickly are devastating to,
Yeah.
and it's one of the reasons why whoever's in charge of making these decisions, you should have done the Afghanistan withdrawal.
Dang. It would have been way better than, and I'm a simpleton. I am,
Facts.
like I say, I am nothing and no one from nowhere.
Anybody on earth could have got that better. The thing
Yeah.
is it's not about them doing things good or not. There's always some type of ulterior motive. There's a reason they're still
Always.
cutting them checks.
Mm-hmm.
Here's all our equipment and here's some checks. Sorry, we destroyed everything, made a shit ton of money off you guys for the last 20 years.
Bro,
Sorry about
why have we personally armed every single combatant group that we fought against? We have single-handedly
that. Or
armed
created it.
them. Yeah, created it, armed them, in a lot of cases both, and then all of a sudden we're fighting
Because the
against them.
devils run in the earth who worships
Mhm.
death, destruction, chaos, and they
Mhm.
know that they build that up. They build the army
Yeah.
of the dead up. There's going to be a war. When the war
sure.
means more control and more takeover. And that's
Yeah.
why it's such a long-term plan. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And yeah, for sure, chessboard, absolutely, there's a big difference.
Heck yeah.
I have friends that have shot people, and I
For
have friends
sure.
that have been shot. And
However,
no joke,
whether it's an animal or a human coming at my child, it doesn't
they're getting
matter.
smoked.
It
Yeah.
don't matter what the hell it is. I don't care what it is. You know?
So let me drop this
Yes,
this
sir.
scenario, and then we'll wrap up because I know we're pushing 1 a.m. Or do you just want to cut it? Because I know we're already getting late.
We can roll it. You can go to one.
This will be a little bit different, but it'll also likely not be as long. What is poking me? Good gravy. Okay, so let's kind of. Can you picture in your head if Trump were to win? By the way, this makes me just laugh so much because after Biden was elected, we did a show on the channel with Johnny B, and one of the people on the show said, "So when Trump comes back, I think that we may deal with." And before he even got the words out, Johnny B was like, "What did you say? When Trump comes back? Are you see? He is done. He is over. You will never see him again." Johnny B, we all said that Trump was coming back. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. And look, I'm not the slob it on the knob of Trump. I'm just saying it's just an interesting thing. He could have said anyone. I'm just saying. Whatever. Anyway, so think back to when there were riots in the street everywhere, right? Every major city was dealing with considerable riots, BLM, all that bullshit, right? Scoozy. And you remember there were incidents where, for an example, there was two men walking down the street. I think it was Seattle, Washington, and there was a guy, crazy leftist extremist dude, that was literally walking around with a gun in the pocket of his jacket, looking for a Trumper. And he saw a dude that was leaving a rally with a Trump shirt, and you hear in the video, there he is. There's one right there. Let's go get him. And you hear pow, pow, pow. And he just shoots the dude in the street and runs off, right? Like, that is how crazy shit gets when there's such political division, and people tie their identity to it, and people tie their it's almost like a religion. And we've talked about this too on this channel, where religion has been the source of thousands and thousands of wars, and this is what the government has done. They have basically taken political beliefs and ideals, and they've made it the new religion, which people are willing to fight and kill for. Unfortunately, some people are. And anyway, so I want you guys to think back to that time when there were thousands of people running through the streets, to where it was just absolute chaos and just craziness, right? And I want you guys to think about this. So let's fast forward and let's say Trump wins. Okay. Could you guys picture people of opposing beliefs just spilling into the streets and going totally psycho if Trump wins?
Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
Including
So-
the media antagonizing them.
Oh, for sure. And then also giving them, the phone call or the number to call if you get
Mostly peaceful
locked up.
purging.
Yes. Yes, that's hilarious. So where did somebody say that? Where is it?
I just said it. I didn't read it.
Oh, I was like, what? That was a good one.
Yeah.
Mostly peaceful but fiery purging. So let's say this. So let's say this is pre-shift, but pre-Adam shift, but no, so pre-shift civility or society is still held together the way it is now. And you're doing your thing, you're going to work, you're coming home, you're going to work, you're coming home, just normal everyday stuff. And what do you typically carry each day, like on your body? What do you carry?
2 17-round magazines, one in the chamber. That's
Okay.
about it. 2 knives.
Okay.
And a tourniquet.
Okay. So let's say like
And soon to
that's
be a goon beam.
nice. I really wish Goonbeam made a TLR7 sub variant. I would put that on all of my carry guns.
I
Or
would too.
or a TLR7 alpha variant, or so I'm just saying Goonbeam.
Even just the old school TLR7. I'd still take the
Yeah.
goon beam version over the
Yeah.
A and the A plus and
The only
7
issue,
sub.
the side buttons do turn on in your pants. I will say that.
That's true.
It's made my balls pretty hot before. Okay, so similar thing. I carry a Glock 43X with 21 rounds in it, another magazine with 15 rounds in it.
That's why you hit the light cap and turn the light cap.
Yeah, but then if you have to draw, I don't want
In
to
the
have
dark.
to turn in the dark.
But you knew you had to draw, but you couldn't see what you're drawing at.
Yeah, right. In the dark, believe me.
A lot of times you'll need it for like, hold on, I know something could be around here and I can't see. Let me make sure I have this on. And then you
Let me draw my firearm in public, do a quarter turn on the on the flashlight, and re-holes. Ah! I'm just kidding. Same kind of thing. 43X with 21 rounds in it, and then another magazine with 15 rounds in it. So about the same. So like 35, 36 rounds. And then
I'm
carry.
never really that far from my car though.
See, that's the other thing. The whip is a very important piece of this, but that's going to be tied into this too. Okay. And 2 knives, and then also the hot sauce and a goon beam. And look, I know a lot of people talk shit about the hot sauce, but even now at the crib, bro, hot sauce could actually be very, very effective if needed. And I didn't even think about that in this situation, but that's part of it. And then I have medical in my bag, which would be slung around my sack would be on my chest.
Facts.
Okay, so let's say you work in kind of a suburban city-ish
And I have
area.
armor.
In your bag, or
Yeah, my bag that I carry every day has armor.
yeah, I like to carry a briefcase nuke. Just I'm just kidding. No, that's what's
I've thought about keeping like the plate carrier, the slim plate carrier in the car.
Dude, I used to keep a rifle with a plate carrier with mags on it in the car all the time, and then I just didn't want my shit to get stolen.
Yeah,
Um,
I'd always bring it in at night, but I also would carry. I have 3 sets of armor. 2 are
yeah.
cheap steel, so I'd
Mhm.
carry one of my the steel one that I would wouldn't mind losing, and then I'd
Yeah, I
bring it
actually
in
think
at night.
one of my sets of armor was
I
like
don't
sub $100, the CATI level 3 steel plates. Dude, it's like super it yeah, sorry. So just to tie it back up, I want, because a lot of us keep a long gun in our car, or a buttload of magazines, ammo, and other shit like that, right? And let's say we all have another handgun and a long gun and a buttload of magazines for both in the car, okay?
I wonder who these guys are that think alike.
Right? But these guys, let's say every day they have to go park their car at a park and ride, and then take the train into a
Ooh,
highly populated area in which they only have what's on them, because
bro,
they get off at the stop and then they walk
you
to their
better
office.
have a Scorpion Mini or a MP5K or
But you're walking to work, you're well equipped. You got 36 rounds on you, man. You're good. And you never even needed one bullet, right? Why would you need
but Trump
36,
just
right?
won, right?
So Trump just won. But let's say you're in the whatever, you're in the, just bear with me for my event, okay?
Okay, guys.
So let's say he already won. It's been weeks and weeks, and nothing has popped off, right?
Yeah.
And you're still doing your thing. You're parking your car at the park and ride. You're taking the train in, take the train in. You walk, 6 blocks, 10 blocks, whatever, to your office. And then every day you're doing that. And every day you get off, you walk back, take the train back to your car, and then blah, blah, blah. Right. So let's say one day you are at work, and all of a sudden there's like, news is coming on. Your boss comes out and they're like, "Hey, man, there's like literal riots brewing in the streets. Like, if this continues, we're gonna need to shut down and just send everyone home because this is getting bad." So
Yep.
then you're sitting there and you start looking out the window and you're like, "Oh, yo, there's like protests going on. Not riots yet, right? But protests going on." So you're like, "Man, I need to make a call and be like, I either need to just leave and say to hell with the job, I'll figure it out, or you need to wait and make a call to leave." But either way, every minute that you wait, it is getting worse. And no matter what happens, riots are going to start. Okay, I'm future pacing. This is going to happen. Riots are going to start, and it is going to be literal fields and fields of people looking for people like us. So
Well, I'm taking my camo hat off and I'm putting on my Palestinian bandana that I sell. You can use the link in my thing. I'm selling Palestinian bandanas for
are you
everyone who
really?
No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, I was gonna say, bro, that's slick. Yeah, that's smart, bro.
But it's smart. You know who said that is Tim Harper said, I carry Palestinian flag, so if they're burning the American flag, I can burn it in front of them, right? But
You may
I think
want to,
it's smart to carry that stuff to blend in,
yeah.
bro. Blend
So
in with the crowd and get up out of there. I don't care. Kamala,
yeah, bro.
Kamala Walls,
I'll,
Ukraine. I carry a Ukrainian one, a Palestinian one. I'm like the guy in the Mummy. When the Mummy
yeah,
comes out, he's like,
yeah,
Shemdala, Shemdala.
dude.
He's got all the
Honestly,
chains.
I don't know if we've ever even talked about this like publicly, right? But during the crazy ass BLM stuff, we were actually going to start a merch company, and the merch company was going to be all BLM like merch, and it was all going to be BLM like memes and
That's right, Johnny.
basically like shit like that, but on like the inside in a very inconspicuous place, like somewhere on the inside we were going to put some like code, some type of code to be like, "Gotcha, bitch, you've been funding people that hate you, and we got your money,
Yeah.
we ended up not doing that just because of death threats and
I
stuff.
think
And
if that situation's happening, I think it's a very smart idea to blend in with the go kick a trash can over, hold your fist in the air, transfer Palestine on your hat.
so okay, so let's stop for a second. So that's not a bad idea. So you're at work. The riots are going to get bad. They're either going to so you can start right away because you're going to be walking 6 to 10 blocks. They're going to get worse as you walk down. Then when you get in the train, and so they're only going to get worse. Okay, so let's say boss came out, said what he said. You don't know at that time they're going to get worse, but you looked out the window and you're like, "Whoa, protest! Like literal like rivers of
We've seen
people
them that
everywhere."
big, bro.
Yeah, dude,
We've
it's
seen them.
and it's like that, right?
Oh,
I mean,
I'm getting a Palestinian flag and blending in. I'm actually
okay,
from
so
there. That's
walk through
why
it. What would you
I'm a
do?
little bit tan. I got the beard.
You're on the 10th floor, okay, and
Hit him with the rally hat. Y'all remember the rally hat?
no,
Y'all don't remember the rally hat? All right.
no, no.
That's old school.
All right, so you're on the 10th floor. You don't know yet that they're gonna get crazy bad, really bad, like burning down police stations and fighting the National Guard bad, but they are going to. They're gonna be literally looking for people like you. You're on the 10th floor. You're figuring out what you need to do. Do you wait for your boss to say go? Do you just bounce? Like, what are you gonna do?
Oh, I'm definitely not hanging out. I'm getting back to my house because I know that might last for weeks. This might turn into something, right? So, like I said, man, the best thing that you can do is blend in, keep your shit
Okay,
stashed. Um, I'm blending in. I'm rolling a pant leg up. I'm looking as goofy and as
taking some
ridiculous as
purple slushy and pulling pulling it through those locks, those luscious
yep,
locks.
yep.
So okay, so let's say you walk downstairs and you encounter a whole assload of people in the stairwell. You're able to kind of fake it enough to like fake the funk. You walk through it, you get through. Woo, like man, that was dicey. You walk out to the the courtyard section of the building, right? And you're like, all right, I got 6 to 10 blocks to walk. And as soon as you walk out, people are just everywhere. You have to walk through and honestly it's not far-fetched to think that there could be like
Gotcha,
um
Zanti.
literally like Palestinian do-rags and shit all on the ground. It's like you for real signs fall on the ground, like all sorts of stuff. Like you could totally fake the funk. But let's say you walk those 6 to 10 blocks and it continues getting worse, right? And you're faking the funk and
Oh,
you got
by the sixth block, I'm gonna be like in full character.
yes, but then you get to the train and the train pulls up and the doors open up and you hear the please watch all arms and hands and fingers and toes and whatever and the doors open up and it is packed with Antifa in full kit, people, covered in
Have you seen the video? I made a video on how to make the quick mask with the t-shirt.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So that's funny that I've literally done the same thing. As a kid, when we were super broke, we would always be a ninja for Halloween. So we would
yeah,
take the black shirt, pull it up to our face, tie the sleeves back, boom.
yep,
That's like the super quick way of
straight up.
CID.
Yeah, bro. You're gonna have to blend in. Now, if you get to that train dressed as the
Mhm.
goober, right?
Mhm.
And let's say the whole red wave is in the train coming out the train.
That's another thing I was thinking like
that I thought you were gonna say it. I'm like, fuck, I'm taking that shit off, dog. I'm gonna be like, bro, I've been waiting for y'all to show up. I've been here in disguise.
dude, but here's the other thing. What if the train pulls up different cars, right? Same stop. That happens all the time. And what if 30 dudes in full kit that are like us
That's
walk
what I'm
out and on
saying.
the other side 30 Antifa cats in full kit all walk out, and you're just smack in the middle of both. So you think it's better to
I'm definitely booking over to the right side in the book.
yeah. You literally would have to like show your handgun and be like, "Yo, I'm with y'all. I'm with y'all."
Hell
Like, yo, this
yeah.
dude's hair is purple. He's wearing a Kamala 2012 hat. I'm just kidding.
It's slushy,
like-
bro. It's slushy. I was trying to get out of the horde, dog.
Slushy.
Y'all don't know I'm Red Dawn. Y'all ain't seen my fucking videos.
That's why it's like, you remember what was that movie where the dude they were in like communist China, and then the Americans were about to shoot down the plane, and then he got out with a Bruce Springsteen shirt and it was like like, oh man, what was that movie, dude? Somebody help me.
Well,
And he was like, "They're
a lot
Americans.
of times
They're
I wear
Americans."
the F ISIS undershirt.
Oh, really?
I had it on in the video I did of the dry fire. I don't know if that was good to wear during the promo video.
That's
I
funny.
had on the fuck ISIS shirt.
In
And
fact, on the train.
and now you ain't blending in, dog. You ain't blending in with the NFAC.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, bro, I'm mixed, light skinned. I might be able to pull that off. You'd be surprised.
Yeah. Gotta have the blue glow stick in that. Yeah, for real. Yeah,
Bro,
you
I
gotta have
I
that
see
blue
the red
camera.
wave coming out. I'm gonna be like, y'all don't know Red Dawn? I know Johnny Propane.
Johnny Propane. Yeah, so here's one of the reasons I brought that up. So imagine getting in that train full of, extreme leftists, Antifa in full kit, all that shit, and sitting and saying like, okay, if I don't get on, they're all gonna think that I'm like, oh, I'm waiting for the next one. Like, you got to get on, right? Like, otherwise you're gonna look totally out of place or whatever. You get in, and let's say it's just like silent, and they're all just looking at you. And you're like,
You put on the Kamala in the South accent.
Kamala,
Yeah.
And what if they're like,
Can't believe
what do you
fucking
like about
Trump
Kamala?
won.
These
I love her
MAGA
border policy. Everyone should spill
MAGites.
out in here.
Hey, he said policy. He's not one of us. Get him. But like I mean,
She was the best borders ever. She let in all my cousins.
sí, claro, vato. Me gusta
Now my grandmother got here safely. And she get 15,000 a month. It's awesome, man.
That's racist. No, I'm just playing. But like, for real, that like the moment of like that just crazy awkward silence where people are like, you need to prove to us that you're one of us. What if they were like, okay, pull up your social media, show us
I
that
don't
you're
have
one,
one.
like at gunpoint, show us your phone.
Bro,
You know what I
shit's
mean?
Red
Like,
Dawn. I'm fucked, bro.
dude.
They were like, show us your YouTube right now.
Yeah,
Fuck.
right. Show us your recently watched videos. Dude, it's over. You want to learn who somebody is?
That's when
Look
you
at
take
their-
the phone and check it, and you're like, Donald Trump's the one controlling all our phones.
Yeah, right.
And you go full just mental breakdown
Full
on them.
hard.
If that
I
doesn't
hate
prove
those damn MAGA Republicans. Those, what do they call them? Maggots.
MAGA
Yeah.
extremists.
So here's one thing that I've realized a lot of times, and one of the reasons why I said, we're carrying this gun and we're carrying this and extra mag and all that, because a lot of times people assume that their best defense is that handgun, when in most cases it's not going to do us justice to resort to the handgun, unless of course we absolutely need it. Then you must be a beast. You must be sub 1.5 seconds, draw the first shot with alphas all day. You must be you got to be a beast, right?
That crunchy mom.
Our YouTube is linked through our TV, so it's a mix of shit at the fan videos and Coco Melon, bro. Me too,
bro.
dude. Coco Melon.
There's only one paid account with no commercials.
Yeah. Johnny Propane said, "I'd be screwed." I know. We all would be. Don't.
You got to
feel
be a
bad.
real ninja, Johnny. You got to be a real ninja, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude. That's crazy. I mean, just being in that environment for a brief moment, just like, please God, let me get back to my car. Let me get back to my car. But then, like, so many people think that like the gun is the solution. It's like, how many people are on the train? How many people? What are they carrying? What are they? Bro, are you gonna take on a train full of people, close quarters, while they're in full kit? Get the
If
fuck out of here!
if you had to, though, the gun could be used as something to be like, give me that shirt.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I mean, there's 1,000 ways that could
Still
have gone,
useful.
right?
Yeah, it's never
But
not good to have it.
yeah, it's all there's
Which I know
never
you
a
know.
reason not to have a gun, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, the only time I don't have a gun on me is when I'm in the shower, and now I have, the shower gun, so, that's important.
PSA dagger for the shower.
That's not bad. I got the 5-shot J-frame in there now, which is kinda
Oh, don't you worry about rust?
limiting. I don't really worry. I should probably open it and look at it from time to time as well,
Mhm.
but, that thing probably won't even move if I pulled the trigger. But, I mean, it's in a waterproof container, but, like, I think that, humidity, cool, heat, cool, heat, cool, heat, cool, that's gonna cause humidity to build on the inside of the waterproof
Yep.
container, which would, create condensation, which could then rust, and then,
No, that's why
you
you
know
keep the worst throwaway gun that you have with you in the shower, because it's like, it's cheap. I can
Sadly,
replace and rebuy another one.
I do have guns that are worse throwaways than daggers, unfortunately.
Yeah, and
You
don't keep
you
those
know?
ones, because if you need it, you don't want it to be that bad.
Yeah, yeah. The daggers will run though, but, all right, I think that's good. Booby traps, learn how to blow stuff up. We'll cover,
Booty
another
traps?
booty traps, baby.
I said
Dude,
booby traps. What
there's
movie? What
so
movie?
do you want me to say
Yeah.
it? The Goonie
Yes.
The Goonies. Sorry. I think, the booby trap thing really has to be on Rumble, because that won't totally destroy everything. Um, man, there's so many great things that, like, just to have that little bit of knowledge, even if you've never done it, just to, and I would encourage people not to do anything that we talk about ever. And we don't give advice. And if you do take advice from us, you're stealing. Shout out to CRS. We miss you. Love you. So I think that kind of stuff is super important to talk about, because even if, like, in, uh, you know, just talking about it and no one actually doing it, just hearing it, thinking about it, understanding it, having a general knowledge of something, if they do need to use something in a pinch, they can throw it together. And I think it's super
Yeah.
important.
You will recollect stuff that you hear, and
Mhm.
when you hear it for the first time and you're like, man, that's a good idea, you'll think about it too. And you'll add it in to your plan.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, I do need to order some more alternate country face coverings, all
Oh,
those things.
I thought you were gonna say you need to order some .3 brake fluid and chlorine tablets.
Yeah, that too.
That too?
And
Yep. Yeah.
yep. And
Some more
Walter White. I got Walter White coming in the mail.
Walter White, the person?
Yep.
That's a good idea. I would rather Jesse
Pocket
Pinkman
carry.
pocket
Just
carry.
Walter
Are you
White.
are you talking about uh castor beans? What are you talking about?
I'm just saying. Like,
Castor
I'm
beans.
gonna have a chemist guy that I keep in my pocket who shrinks.
Oh,
Just playing,
gotcha.
I'm
I was
just
like,
playing.
what? What?
Or I need
Um
to read some more books, or call Dark in my private time.
castor beans could be very, very important to have with you, for reasons. I'll tell you what, those 30 guys, no match for castor beans. All of them gone
Damn
in
right. And I
hours.
thought Jack and the Beanstalk was a beast.
Yeah, this is whole next level type stuff, and it doesn't matter how, if we can get it in.
I don't know. I don't even know what castor beans are.
So you can, synthesize, the poison ricin from, castor beans, and, it's, big castor oil fan. Yeah. Wait, can castor beans do something? Yes, they can do lots of bad stuff. Never, never, ever do any of that. Never look into
I
it.
don't think they're
Never
related to
encourage it.
castor oil.
I actually think that castor oil is made from castor beans, but because castor oil is so heavily synthesized, I don't think you can make rice in from castor oil.
Gotcha.
I'll just say that. She says it's in castor oil, darling. Oh shit, yes you can. Yeah, it is. Yeah, yep,
All
castor
right.
beans. But I don't know about the whole synthesis process of castor oil. And there's so many other man. You could cut down a tree and process it to make tetranitratoluene, which is TNT. You could literally like make charcoal, and there's lots of stuff that you can do, guys. Also, keeping chemicals, in my opinion, safe, separate chemicals that you can, if needed to mix to make reactive targets is great for the active sportsman in your life. So remember that. Potassium nitrate, magnesium, sulfur, those are great things to have around. Even potassium perchlorate. You could definitely do stuff with aluminum powder. You could do nitrocellulose. Yeah, there you go. See, there's lots of fee fi fo fum. Yes, that. Anyway, let's go ahead and wrap up. I appreciate you coming on, man. It's always a good conversation. Would you be
Definitely.
down maybe for the next stream instead of doing a YouTube stream? Would you be down to come on Rumble and do a booby traps conversation?
100%.
That would be awesome.
Saturday?
Yeah, I think we could do Saturday. Ow,
Cool.
I just cracked all my elbows. Everyone in chat, let me know. Would you guys want to do a booby trap conversation on Rumble on Saturday? Let me know. I think that would be a blast.
Yes. Booty traps.
Booty traps?
That's what I said.
That's what I said. I said booty traps.
I got my pinchers a pouch.
Castor oil is a thick, odorless oil made from the seeds of the castor plant. Its use dates back to ancient Egypt, where it was likely used as fuel for lamps as well as for medicinal and beauty purposes. Booty purposes? Cleopatra reportedly used it to brighten the white of her eyes. What? That's just crazy, man. If boobies are involved, I'll be here. Awesome. It'll be on Rumble. Rumble, just like agorizer correctly spelled here. Rumble. So let's go ahead and close out. So Red Dawn, remind them who you are, what you do, where they can find you, and we'll go ahead and wrap up. And I'm sorry, real quick before you do, I need to remind you guys that I am on my path to 5,000 subscribers. 5,000 subscribers. Oh, I probably shouldn't do that. 5,000 subscribers. So I need you guys, if you're listening right now and you're not subscribed, I hate you. I'm just kidding. I would really, really appreciate if you guys chose to subscribe. And if you guys need like someone to like co-sign what I'm talking about, like I could not tell you how many people say that DLD After Dark is one of the best
Listen,
podcasts.
folks, DLD After Dark is hands down
Hello?
the best podcast in the country. I mean, hands down, folks. There's
Thank you.
no other live stream like it. That dark guy really knows what he's talking about. Oh, and fuck the ATF.
Wow.
Oh, Jesus Christ, it's Jason Bourne.
Okay. All right. Sorry. I had to do that. But if you
I
guys
have
could
a
help
feeling
me.
you could make some pretty cool shorts with those audios.
Oh, for sure, dude, for sure. If you know what, let me just check real quick. So I think I started the day with 47,057 subs. Now I'm at 47,061. Look at that, baby.
Nice.
Look at that.
Because you dropped the short.
And even my short is I've gotten 0 subscribers from my short.
Really?
That's great. Is it 0 subs? Let me see. Hold
Dude,
on.
if I don't like use a YouTube audio or I don't just show a gun, they throttle my shorts. Like to me, my best
Yeah.
shorts are ones that are totally throttled.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it is what it is.
DLD is co-signing loans for compounds and reservations. Stay start your own chats. I'm not co-signing nothing. Yeah, no, it's crazy, man. The shorts game is insane, and that is YouTube's way of paying content creators even less.
You know
I
what's
mean,
sad about that is
hmm,
the federal government is actually doing that right now to
dude,
migrants.
absolutely. Yeah, that's yes, Kyle, my guy. By the way, well, here you do your quick goodbye, and then we'll I just
So
want to say
y'all know, follow Red Dawn Readiness on YouTube. There is no more Red Dawn Republic because they demonetized that channel as well. So I'm fully demonetized. There is no hope for monetization according to YouTube. Hopefully, at some point they
nice.
forget that I've been forever demonetized.
That's
But
awesome.
come support the channel. On Friday, we are doing a premiere of a music video that we created to support creators. And Modern
Yeah.
Frontiersman will be on, and we'll premiere that. DLD After Dark is premiered in the music video, and
What?
it's gonna be live, man. So come check it out. Hopefully, once we premiere it, we hang for a bit. We can have a big panel of everyone who was in the video coming on. That would be ideal. So we're gonna work on putting that together and have a discussion about how we affect the culture, even though it may be too late. But we need to also come up with the plans of stuff that we talked about in the beginning of this stream, which is how to coordinate so we're not putting things together last minute when all this stuff does kick off.
Mhm.
So yeah, come follow Red Dawn Readiness. We do all kinds of stuff like wargaming and uh, product reviews, current information, tactical strategies, firearms, the whole gamut. So come
Yeah.
through, subscribe. Christ is King.
Oh yeah, appreciate you, man. Thank you. And to everyone out there, make sure you do subscribe to Red Dawn Readiness because he really does put out excellent content, and the live shows are live. So make sure you check that out. I will certainly be in there Friday. I'll have to toggle back and forth between a couple things, you know what I'm saying? But I'll be in there
Cool.
as much as I can be. And everyone, like Red Dawn said, man, Christ is King, and for anyone out there that's not certain of their status and their relationship with Jesus Christ, I would encourage you guys to reach out to either one of us if you have questions, or a lot of times we'll say, like, it's time to get right with your family and get right with God. And some people have hit me up on like IG and email and been like, yo, so what does it mean to like get right with God? Like, what do I have to do? And God, you can't seek out God. God has already sought you out. So your job is to respond to him and to commit to him. And I cannot tell you how important it is, and how some people say, like, well, if I commit my life to God now, then I won't be able to do all this fun, cool stuff. Dude, all that worldly bullshit is so insignificant. You will be, your life will forever be changed. And that's literally no exaggeration. Your worldly life will be changed forever. But even then, this life on this planet, in this body that you're in right now, is a blip on the radar of eternity. And you could
And
be
I would
given eternal
and I
life
also would say absolutely you will have eternal life, but in the fun
if you
regard,
accept the gift.
you will have just as much fun, but your definition of fun will change and you will have
Yeah,
way more fulfillment in your life. Way more fulfillment. You will feel more complete 24 hours a day, and
yeah,
that matters a lot.
facts. Yeah, you will also see more evil. You will also see evil working differently, and your eyes are opened for sure. So yeah, keep that in mind and reach out to either one of us. I know Rich, throughout the offer too, that you can reach out to him. So just reach out if anyone wants to talk about it. Even if you've been burned by religion in the past, man. I think a lot of us have in some ways. So don't do it for a church or a place or a building or a certain person that's at a certain, point that's designated by man. By the way, not God, right? Don't fall into that. It's a relationship with Jesus, and I'll leave that there. I also want to add really quickly because Kyle came through. I haven't been able to post anything on it yet, but Kyle with Anderson Manufacturing, we told the story that Anderson Manufacturing found out that 2 local police agencies to them, the guys were having to buy their own rifles. So they were able to work out this new line of rifles. I think it was the Defender series or something like that.
Mhm.
But they totally developed this new Anderson Manufacturing rifle. They beefed up the gas system, they beefed up the gas tubes, they beefed up the BCGs, and they have police agencies running these rifles. And because it went so well, they created the Frontline series of rifles based off of those. And he was able to just send an 11.5-inch Frontline complete AR to your boy. So DLD has a new Frontline 11.5-inch 5.56.
Ooh.
I'm gonna run that thing right from the factory, just the way it came to me. I'm not gonna clean it, lube it, lubricate it, oil it. I'm not gonna do anything at all to it. Run it just how it is, and I'm just gonna beat the shit out of it and see how it does. So I'm pumped about that, and I would love
Sick.
to hear y'all's feedback like as I do it. So, and I'm
I would
also
say put
still
I would
doing
say put a
that.
little oil on it.
A
A little bit of oil.
I kind of want to see how it does from the box. I don't know. We'll see. I'll probably put some grease in that buffer. You know what I'm saying? But I'm still doing that with the shadow systems. I'm at like 1,385 rounds. I haven't been able to shoot much pistol, but aside from the little hiccup with the burr or piece of projectile or casing, whatever it was, it is totally running fine now. It actually never didn't run. It just was a little laggy when you're racking it. Now someone's gonna take that video and do
Flip
something
me
with
out
it.
of it if you do.
Yeah, right. And clip Kyle out of it too. He doesn't want to be in there. But anyway,
Kyle, I'd love to have you on Red Dawn Readiness sometime, sir. You're
yeah,
always
man.
welcome.
Dude, I highly recommend it, man. That's a great place for him to share the message with, other people that
We get a good amount of views on the live, so you would really
yeah.
enjoy the exposure, sir.
Yeah, and it's the exact group of people that are looking for affordable duty grade ARs. Like that is exactly what it's perfect. What's up, Taco, by the way? Great to see you. Oh, beautiful. False religions will fail you. God will not. Yeah.
Yep.
You should probably use a little lube. Craig, good to see you, man.
A little bit.
So, and there's some other stuff that we're doing too that I haven't really been able to catch up with you guys on. Just had a lot going on lately, but definition knives is still we're still in the process. All the knives are manufactured. We are in the process of lasering all of them now, and they should be out soon. And we're also working on 2 other knives that are going to be crazy if we're able to manufacture them the way that I would like to. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see if we can get these 2 other knives out. The knives that we already came out with are dope. They're incredible. They're beautiful.
Yep.
If I'm able to get these 2 done, we're gonna be doing what we call the definition drop, which is like probably once a year. We are gonna drop a crazy knife that will like totally change the game of our company every single year. And we're only going to do a run of small amount, and when they're gone, and they're gone forever, and that's it. So,
Press 1 in the chat if you want him to name a knife after Red Dawn Readiness.
I already got one planned. You know what I'm saying? I haven't actually
pre-order
told
by
yet.
pressing 1.
Yeah, right. Did you know you can vote for Hillary Clinton by pressing 1 as well? I'm just kidding. RDR, remember Vaseline on the doorknob will keep the kids out of the bed. Oh, that's a very, very good idea. I didn't think about
Yeah,
that.
too bad they've been in my bed for the last can't tell you how long. So we Vaseline on the outside and lock them inside. Never mind. I don't know why I'm getting into this.
Yeah, right.
Chessboard. I'll play you in chess. Pretty good at chess now.
Dang. Bob said -1. What?
Dang, Bob.
Dang. You got Lightning McQueen hit you with a 1. There
so
you
we're
go.
back at 0.
Yeah, yes. You have exactly 0 people. No, it's good. I know they want it. It's there's gonna be you guys are gonna be excited by all the people that we're integrating within the definition knives world are all gonna be like, people that y'all all love to watch and enjoy and support. The other thing people really haven't asked, like, why is it called definition knives, so we'll get into that too another time as well, and it's actually really cool. We toyed around with some other ideas, but there's more to, like, there's more to it, but anyway, we're gonna go ahead and wrap up, guys. To make sure that you're aware of all the things that are dropping, definitionknives.com is not active yet. It does belong to us because some people like to go up there and attack your boy by purchasing domains. Like, I don't know, if somebody came in and purchased dldafterdark.com, who would do such a thing? Only
Flying
someone
Rich.
trying to hurt me. Nope. Another company. I'm sorry.
Black Scout Survival.
Another group of people that are trying to hurt me. Only another, group of people would do something like purchasing dldwarehouse.com, things like that, like specifically to hurt me and to go to war with me when I owe you nothing. So there's that. Anyway, let me stop before I go too far. But I will also say, if those people are out there and if those people are listening, I just want to say this: stop. Seriously, stop. Stop what you're doing, or you are really going to dislike the outcome of this in every single way. And it's not a threat. I'm just telling you how it is. Um, Anyway, look, I love all y'all. I appreciate all y'all so much. And just know that I'm grateful for every single one of you guys, every single viewer. And you guys have become, part of this little family of misfits that care about each other, care about people. And I could not be happier. So thank you. Remember, guys, right now is the time to get right with your family and to get right with God. Things are getting crazy, and it's more important now as men, as leaders, as strong women within the community, that we stand up for what's good, what's right, and what's righteous. And to do that, to be that best version of yourself, it is important. Plot twist: it's a Prius driver. Yeah. It's important to set your own version of, rules, standards, and expectations that you follow. And some of the rules that I like to follow are as follows. One,
Oh,
it's
Jesus Christ, it's Jason Bourne.
oh, sorry. One, be kind. It's so important that we're kind in everything that we do. That brief interaction that you have with somebody else could have a massive impact on their life. So just be kind. Rule number 2 is to live a life of care, compassion, contribution, give to others. When you bless others, you become blessed because the hand that's open to give is open to receive. Rule number 3, because we know the only way for us to defeat evil is with good men skilled in violence. Make sure that you're becoming as highly skilled in violence as you possibly can be, and be safe, be dangerous, and keep that thing on
Gigantic
you.
faggots. Faggots know
Oh,
And
sorry.
train.
powerful
Do
people
do
with the
one
biggest,
thing
tightest
every day.
buttholes, believe me.
Don't skip a
Sorry.
day where you put at least 5 minutes, which you guys have spent 3.5 hours with us. So we appreciate that. But
Yeah.
at least
bro.
spend 5 minutes. Make yourself better every day.
Yeah. And don't forget to shoot real bullets too. Because sometimes we can get really, really comfortable when we got hundreds of thousand rounds downrange and all that. We're like, I'll just dry fire practice and shoot real bullets too. That's important. Poke holes in a paper with bullets. And do it while your feet are on the grass.
And
That's
if your optic isn't zeroed, your gun is useless.
yes, zero your optic until you feel that level of confidence, bro. And if tomorrow you could not take part in the tap water that is around you, what would you be left with? Ask yourself that question, and then based on your answer to that question, see what you need to do to position yourself in a healthy and safe manner. So, with that, ladies and gentlemen, we're out of here. I appreciate you all so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, Red Dawn. Thank We'll catch you on the next one. Yeah, buy my food bucket.